everybody. Welcome to Shield of Tomorrow, the Star Trek RPG show where we occasionally go live when we're still just getting ready. But I told them to go live because we're kind of running behind here, and I want to keep us on schedule.
Are you inconvenienced? Are you inconvenienced? I'm so sorry,
bit,
Eric.
You know what? I might just cut it short today.
By all means, yeah. Let's just
welcome to the collective. All right, so we've got a lot of stuff to do at the top of the episode, so I'm just going to jump in. First off, I have to tell you guys about the giveaways because I have to read off my legalese paper here. So
void where prohibited.
What's that?
I'm just guessing.
No, actually, that
must be 18 years old to
enter.
enter.
Yeah, that is in the language.
No Rhode Island.
No Rhode Island.
Get out of here, Rhode Island. We don't want you over here.
All right, so so we're having giveaway. Yes, so we're doing 2 PDFs of the Star Trek Adventures core book, thanks to Modifius. Thank you very much. Devin, can you remind me, is it 2 Temporal Agent starter packs this week, or is it 2 Federation starter packs? Because we kind of flip-flop. We do one for Xbox and we do one for PC. Sorry, PlayStation guys. It's kind of a drag, I know. PlayStation's a great system. Yeah. I still
You
play.
heard it here first. Eric hates the PlayStation.
Dude, PlayStation,
Mr. Sony,
Bushido Blade on PlayStation 1, still one of my all-time favorite video games. Even though it's okay. A tier 6 Valiant?
What?
All right, cool. So if you want a T6 starship, so stay active and chat throughout the game. So here's the legalese. No purchase necessary. Open to all legal residents in the United States, excluding poor Rhode Island. Must be 18 or older to enter. Find official rules here, and I'm guessing those are popping up somewhere in the space around me. All anyone has to do to be considered is to be active in the chat for the show, and we'll pull winners near the end of the show, and I will announce them before we sign off, unless one of our crew members gets assimilated, and then I get so stressed out that I forget to announce the winners at the end of the show, and we have to do it on Twitter like we did last week. So yes, ta-da, so that's that. Another quick announcement, we're just gonna keep going. Real quick, I want to give a big shout out to one of our biggest supporters and community members, Fiona Dunn, also known as Moon's Rain, who runs the Aux Crew Discord with a bunch of the mods that are helping out there. So Fiona Debts Must Be Paid, which is an 18-page short comic that Fiona worked on. It's now on Comixology, and it's $2.99.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm just giving a shout out to Fiona because I've already taken a look at it, and it's good. It's good stuff. Yeah, turns out. So check that out when you get a chance and support the Aux Crew, guys. Okay, now the part that's going to take up some time as we zip along. I'll just put that carrot sheet aside, and I'm going to start with the fan mail that we got. So we got fan mail, and we've been trying to keep up with it. This time around, we ended up going a little early. By the way, I don't have my custom GM screen up and running yet. I still need to landscape and print out the tables that I need for it, even though it's so damn sexy. Let me pull this thing out.
To do fan mail. This is the episode.
All right, fan mail. I'm just going to be coming and going. Let's see. Okay, so first up, this is from, there's no letter that I can see, and I hope they don't mind me reading their name. It's from Kansas City. So thank you, Kansas City.
All right. Mr. Mrs. or Ms. Kansas City.
And, okay, yeah, this is for, maybe there's a note inside. But Sam, did you want to tell me, this is pertinent, Sam, so if you want to tell me what you told me seconds before the camera went live.
The Klingon thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
What was it? You said something.
Let's see. What did I say? Oh, yeah. No hedge moklach beborg. Salirad yashpumach die.
Y'all get that? Good.
Those were the Borg don't scare us. We're the officers of the motherfucking Sally Ride.
Yes.
Come on.
Kansas City costume. Shield of Tomorrow cast. It looks like it might be a letter, so we will try to. By the way, we do read all the mail. We don't get to always read it on air because we have a tight time slot now, but we do read it, and there's a few of you who've been asking, hey, did you guys get to my letter? We have. And if you want, I'm happy to get responses to you guys. We've got I save all of it. Let's see. Dear Shield of Tomorrow, some of us here in Kansas City Costume Company have been following your show since it was Eric's TVD RPG. Hi, everybody!
Hi.
They greatly enjoy your stories and suggested that you'd enjoy these books. We have had the great fortune of working with Mr. Robert Fletcher, whom you may know as the first designer on Star Trek that famously invented the look for Klingons. Among his many accomplishments for plays, musicals, ballet, operas, and television shows on both coast and many cities in between, enclosed are 7 signed copies of Mr. Fletcher's book he wrote about his career.
That's awesome.
We wish you well, and the USS Sally Ride fly ever true. Kapla, Kansas City Costume Company.
Yes. Oh, beautiful.
A trunk full of yak hair, or how the Klingons got their look.
That's amazing.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Thank you. Kansas City Costume Company, oh my goodness. Yeah, you know how to sweet talk us. Good Lord. You want one of these now?
Yeah.
There you go. One of those.
Bugs. It's bugs.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. All right. Don't quite have this down to the science that Crit Roll does.
I'll make sure Bonnie gets it.
I do too.
That's for me. That's smart.
A lot of yak there?
Oh, this is a Sam loses their shit thing.
Yay!
I have
What?
not looked into this, so I don't
That's
know.
for you. Wait, what?
What?
I've only opened it.
Oh, whoa! This is. I could lift with this. Yeah.
Yo, dress well and prosper.
Again, he makes me so happy.
I know, I said you have to knock you down. It's. What is that? Is that space? Sam was literally showing me the 50
Borg pencil.
Oh, perfect.
Reloaded.
Yeah.
Reloaded. Sam Reloaded. That's the sequel. That's the name of the.
Hi, Sam. You'll need these pencils for all the Borg you're about to kill. Hashtag save Throlo.
Wow, that was quick.
Hashtag save Throlo.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Working on it. I will endeavor with all my life and all my heart and all my breath to do that for you, Piper's twin.
Piper's twin. This is from Danielle Clark. Now, Danielle Clark,
Real smart.
I already took a look at what Danielle Clark sent us. And I'm deeply in love with this.
Oh, snap.
And y'all are gonna lose your damn minds.
Okay.
I had to look. So get ready for some higher. There's gonna be some octaves, so get ready for ears on this.
Yeah.
It's all of us.
What?
Wait.
What? Oh my god! I gotta squeeze them.
It's amazing. Sam, look, Rue has crutches.
Oh!
It's pretty good. Oh man. Oh, Bonnie, I'm sure Bonnie's watching right now. Here, Bonnie, here.
Maybe.
Here, Bonnie. We miss you, Bonnie.
That's a good color.
But Bonnie, if you are watching, go back to bed. You're sick.
Yeah, go back to bed. Listen to
Watch from
Xander.
bed. She can watch from bed.
She can watch from bed.
You know what? Here, I'm gonna hand this to you.
Team sick bay.
Team sick
Yo.
bay.
Hashtag team today.
Here, do you want to pass those
Oh
around?
my god, they're so
And I'll
cute.
read.
Yes.
I'll read.
They're perfect.
The beard.
I know.
Oh my gosh, it has
You know what? A sign of the time is that my beard is slightly grayish.
Wait, take yours.
Kind of like a,
They're so perfect.
to the crew of the Sally Ride, thank you for your weekly trips into Star Trek universe and for letting us all travel along with you. Clear skies, happy sailing, peace and long life, Danielle. P.S. They might be a bit delicate.
Oh, okay.
The beards and hair, so they're probably best if they're not subjected to too
Joke's
much
on you, I
rough
have
treatment.
no
So
hair.
don't hug them too hard.
The little badges, you guys.
Don't understand. Does not compute.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my
So
gosh.
be Gentile. All right. Well.
Gentile.
Can we shout out a
Yeah.
company?
Absolutely. Shout it out. Shout it
Clarky's
out.
Crochet. Facebook.com/Clarky's Crochet. CLARKIES. Or Twitter @Clarky's Crochet. Oh my god.
I've even got my ranks and insignia on here.
Yeah.
My guy's in uniform where I am not.
Yeah.
You're gonna bust me, aren't you?
I got pips.
Yeah.
Oh my
I know.
God.
I'm sorry.
I'm crying, y'all.
And
Your hair.
Bonnie's has the Bajoran nose ridges.
Yeah. So a couple of quick announcements as we move on. To wrap up, just want to give everybody a heads up. This is kind of cool. Quick information. Star Trek Online is now letting their players, you can buy 3D printed models of your ship. in Star Trek Online. So if
that's
you've
cool.
been flying around your T6 ship, you can now order a 3D printed model of your own custom-made
Oh my gosh,
ship
that's
that you've been
amazing.
playing with. It's pretty rad. I've been flying the Variant Intrepid class for a bajillion years now, so I'm really excited to finally get to print that thing. But yeah, check it out. Not all the ships can be printed yet. I don't think like some of the crazy articulated ones, like I'm sorry to reference it, but like the Borg ships
Eric.
can't be printed yet, I believe. But it's pretty good. Last shout out, and then we're gonna jump into the episode. Quick, we haven't done it in a while, but I just want to extend my love and appreciation to Anovos, who gave us these rad uniforms. We love you guys. Thank you so much for adding to our flavor. Yeah, and that's going to be it. So, big game tonight. We're going to launch right into it. We will... yes, Sam.
You know what, Eric?
Yes, Sam?
We're about to kill some Borg. We're about to save our crew.
Yeah.
We're about to save a Klingon. So you know what? I'm not scared. I'm excited.
I'm scared.
And with that, we're going to start tonight's episode. Sorry, Sam was threatening my life, and I was trying to explain that it's up to the dice. Like, it's not me. Real quick, 5-second announcement. Real quick. Don't time me because it's not gonna be 5 seconds. But don't. I said don't time me. So we haven't announced. I think we announced our schedule. But Geek and Sundry, we're gonna be at WonderCon. Not this weekend, but next weekend. So look for me. I'm gonna be hanging out. We're gonna be at the Alpha Party. Anybody who can get out there to make it. Yeah, I hope
We're
to
going to be
see y'all.
doing the Sagas of Sundry live panel on
That's
Saturday.
gonna be so
We're
rad.
on the reportable, but I might be lurking.
Oh,
Yeah. I'll be walking the floor. I'm gonna whip out the Commander Adama cosplay. I'm really excited. I get to finally use that thing. So yeah.
And I'll be on the Nerdist News panel and the Women of Pop Culture panel.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the Women
so
in Pop
excited
Culture
for that.
panel.
Oh, and one more on Friday. I'll be on the Gay Geeks and Where to Find Them panel.
Yeah. Sam's
We'll
like, go on. All right.
I feel so targeted right now.
Okay, so let's do a quick recap. It's been actually, with the exception of some bumps here and there, it's actually been a pretty, up until recently, a pretty restful shore leave.
That is accurate.
It has been kind of, it's been a little stressful for Lark and a little stressful for Mala, but otherwise it's been a pretty sedate shore leave up until recently. You guys, the Sally Ride having put in dock at Narendra Station, the tension in the area diffused now that there's a ceasefire between the Klingon Empire and the Federation. It has finally led to some release on the station, and Klingons and Federation, they're not, I would say everyone's keeping their cool around each other now. It's things are chill. Everyone's aware that a ceasefire is not a treaty. It's not a peace treaty, but it's a ceasefire. So everyone's kind of living it up a little bit right now. Some of the Klingons, as I've said before, a lot of them, there's no war here. So there's no glory to be had, being stuck on a station in a stalemate. So the signing, this ceasefire has allowed some of these Klingons to sort of relax a little bit and start talking openly once again about how badly they want to go kill some Cardassians, which they are doing brazenly. Eager to get on the front line and kill or die for family glory. In the meantime, Sally Ride has been putting into dock for a long overhaul of her engine systems. The warp drive had been pushed to the limits, traveling through Klingon space, and then not getting any rest between Strethia and then, of course, your encounter with the Cavort class that shot a hole in Sally's back. Repairs are still underway. Her engine is still being maintained right now. Lieutenant Commander Ziv has refused to leave the Salyaride. This is his having an entire ship to himself like this, the nice peace and quiet and just work, seems to be therapeutic for him. And he's kind of been able to relax in throwing himself into that. Meanwhile, there's been a lot of up and down relationship encounters on Narendra Station as people are finally opening up about who they are and who they want to be with. To be blunt, there's been a lot of encounters. There's been a message from Ambassador Rel. There has been some very awkward triangle stuff going on with Zadis, Lynn Zadis.
I picked Scotty. That's who I chose.
And there's that.
Scotty now.
Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't know.
There's a...
Really? That's so weird that that's a thing in pop culture, that we reference Euro Trip and people
Wow.
Everyone's like, oh yeah, that shitty movie I saw one time.
Tanya Moore and Rafael Martinez went on a date, but before that date even began, you did in fact encounter Captain Montgomery Scott, who is leaving a civilian transport and part of a small engineering crew that was coming here to sort of take the workload off of some of the Federation and Klingon members of Narendra Station before heading off to wherever their next assignment is going to be. What you've learned from these people is this is all volunteer position. It's just a bunch of engineers who just want to work, and they're all skilled enough, and they're in the area, and they're Federation civilians. So, also, the USS Dauntless reappeared, which was kind of a major event because it revealed that the Dauntless never actually left the Shackleton Expanse like it was ordered to, quote-unquote ordered to. Quick reminder, the USS Dauntless and a few of the other Federation starships that were stationed out here left the Narendra Station as part of keeping the checkmate in place at Narendra Station. Having a ship that large and that powerful near Narendra tipped the balance of power in the Federation's favor, and so as part of a handshake, the Federation sent the Dauntless away. But of course, Admiral Hobart keeps aces up her sleeve at all costs when it comes to protecting the lives of Federation, so she actually is revealed to have sent the Dauntless far away. Who knows where? Don't know what it's been up to all this time, but far away, and has now been recalled. Captain Jonathan UCAB has resumed his position on the station as the Dauntless has made its presence known, and he's sort of getting the Dauntless awesome maintenance from its time and space. He's also reached out. He wants to have a conversation with Captain Rafael Martinez at some point, if I remember correctly. But all of this is kind of in the backdrop. Really, all of this. Because there is a rising conspiracy that has begun to reveal itself that's been taking place on board Narendra Station. Tolash has revealed that his name is actually Kolar, son of Tovek, and that he has a blood feud with General Kargan, the general who rules over Narendra Station. What has been discovered is that there may be some connections with Kargan and House Duras with, of course, the possibility of Romulan interference once again. Looking for evidence has led you all down into the guts of Narendra Station, into one of the lower cargo bays, where a civilian freighter named the Rikarn docked. You guys encountered a Uridian smuggler named Gritos, who was rather alarmed to see you. And of course, you finding Gritos was all because you basically gave a shakedown to Brug, who is the Ferengi merchant topside, and who has that sort of transcendent cleverness that the occasional Ferengi will have. Like, for example, Quark kind of did not meet your typical Ferengi stereotype. He was not stereotypically Ferengi. Had all the markers of a Ferengi, but was way too clever for his own good. Brug seems to be kind of in that stripe and was cooperative. Giving you this information, didn't know what you guys were going to run into. Neither did Brug. And when you guys got down there, what you discovered was this Uridian, Gritos, had what looked like a large torpedo tube of some kind of casing, with what was probably going to be contraband of some kind, blocking all sensors. Upon opening it, you discovered a Borg tactical drone, which immediately came online, sat up, and attacked. And in a moment of instinct, Tolash pulled his disruptor and tried to end it right there. And in all honesty, guys, if Tolash had gotten that shot off, he would have. The Borg would not have been able to adapt to a single energy shot. However, he missed. By one. He missed. and the Borg immediately activated tactical protocols came online, and it assumed you all a threat. This was compounded when Martinez also took a shot and missed, and the attack took place. The Borg tactical drone leapt from its casing with surprising dexterity and charged Tolash. Tolash withdrew his dikta and attempted to engage it in hand-to-hand combat, not wanting to risk this Borg being able to absorb another disruptor strike. Even though he wasn't hit, Tolash didn't want to take the chance, thought he could just kill this thing outright, and the Borg managed to hit him with the nano probes using the injector tubes, which is a debilitating and lethal attack. Tolash was dropped in one go. Combat broke out in full at that point, with people taking shots, people doing what they can. Talani even bravely charged up and engaged in hand-to-hand combat with the Borg drone herself. Rue, of course, managed to shake off the shock and terror of encountering that which has wounded them the most in their life, and charged in there and smashed the unholy fuck out of this Borg, and it still didn't die. Went down in a heap, sat right back up like the frickin' Undertaker, and as it was reactivating and sitting back up, the brave Dr. Throlo Shasiros, completely disregarding her own safety, charged in to stabilize Tolash before he could be assimilated.
Then what happened?
The Borg apologized.
Yeah.
You guys all talked it out.
Oh,
There
okay,
was-
I feel
You know what?
better.
You should be sorry, Borg.
Yeah.
Felt really bad.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Guys, look,
There's been a misunderstanding.
I didn't know what I was doing. I learned it from my father. He was a Borg. So Throlo charged in there, and her back to the Borg drone made herself vulnerable, and the drone hit her. The tactical drone hit her with the nano tube, the assimilation tubes, injecting her with nanoprobes. Again, this is a lethal, debilitating injury. And where we last left off was in that infinitesimal, horrifying moment where you guys are all watching Throlo with these tubes injected into the back of her neck, and your eyes instinctively just go wide as you feel ice spreading throughout your body. And the next thing you experience, Throlo, is just a wave of dizziness and a pressure behind your eyes. Like the worst kind of headache, building up to the point where you're squinting. For anybody who's watching Throlo, she's gripping her hypospray that she's used to stabilize Tolash. Her other hand is curled in on itself, and you see her in a silent scream as she's kind of making this sort of like she's been run through the back, and the Borg just the tubes exit her body. Throlo, you're kind of involuntarily moving at this point. You fall forward, your hands out in front of you. Your mind trying to grasp what's happening to you, trying to keep calm like you know you're having a panic attack, trying to talk yourself out of it. You start immediately going through all your symptoms to try to keep focused, keep conscious, but all you're feeling is this immense pressure and this bizarre sensation of ice spreading throughout your body, and also this strange wave of heat that's like rushing up into your face. The pressure becomes so intense that you eventually have to squeeze your eyes closed. Your head feels like it's going to burst, and you lean forward, laying on top of Tolash's body. Tolash, this Klingon, has already changed an entirely different pigment of coloration. His skin has gone from that dark bronze color that most Klingons have to this sickly white, pale green veins beginning to spread throughout his face. It looks like the nutrients are being realigned in his body. Like the nanoprobes themselves are basically completely reconstructing him at the cellular level. However, it looks like the process has frozen. So you're seeing patches of bronze here and there because Throlo has managed to stabilize him. So the nanoprobes are essentially, as I described it to Sam earlier, Tolash's body is fighting a losing battle right now. But it's still fighting. And the spasms have stopped. Throlo is now slumped over Tolash's body. And the one thing you notice in that split second before we move on to the next action is that Throlo has not collapsed or gone unconscious the way Tolosh has. In fact, Throlo has gone fetal, and your whole body is just shaking, and you are in utter agony.
I'm asking just as a player, I assume that normal rules about shrugging off an injury do not apply in this scenario.
No, not in this one.
Just checking.
Yeah. You need to be stabilized. So Throlo's down. We're gonna go ahead and just to make this clean, we're gonna start at the top of the round. So I'm gonna hand it back over to you guys. Who would like to go first? The Borg is sitting upright, completely stoic and staring at Throlo with dead eyes, bright green as even the nanites inside the irises are at work. And it withdraws its hand.
I would like to rage.
I would like to rage.
Papa Rage.
All right. You know how this works. Make your roll.
I'm going to take one for cautious.
3 and 4. I thought we had 4.
Now, just a quick reminder. This is not going to affect the roll, but just so you know, as you're swinging that crutch down, you do see the flickering of the light inside your crutch. So go ahead and...
Do we want one more because me being assimilated would be real bad?
Now remember, you've only hit with one crutch. The other one's at full. You struck him with one. You got 2.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's going to be the one that I hit him with.
Okay.
Do you want to
It's an opposed check.
Okay.
And if it goes south,
So we need 2 more momentums
yeah.
to get you another die.
So he
we're
is
down to 1.
sitting up right now.
He's sitting upright, yes.
Is he counted as standing or as prone?
He's not prone.
Okay, cool. I use a minor action to aim.
Okay.
I'm going to thoughtfully destroy him.
All right. I'm going to spend 2 threat to raise the difficulty by 1.
That's cocked.
And I'm going to spend another threat to get some dice going here.
Is this hand-to-hand combat?
Yes.
Yep. All right. So let's see.
Oh, that's good. But that's good.
Yeah, that's 1 higher than
Okay.
my number.
Okay.
Okay. How many successes did you get?
4.
4. You beat him by 1.
Okay. Feeling good about that die, huh? Okay.
All right, so roll your damage.
All right. So I beat him by 1. That means I got 1 momentum back.
Oh, great.
Back up to 2.
Yep. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Cap. Thanks for the updates.
Yeah. Play-by-play for Sam's dice is pretty good.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay.
Watch this.
3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 16, 18.
18? Okay.
For each effect because of Vicious 2,
If
and
you've
then
seen-
2s on everything else.
So 2 things happen. First of all, when the impact hits, you see the lights go out in your crutch. The second thing that happens is if you've ever seen First Contact, there's a moment where Data literally clotheslines a Borg so hard that it crushes his chest cavity and causes sparks to fly. Same effect. Rude jumps in there and throwing all of your weight into it. You see these crutches charge for their one use, and you smashed into this Borg. You all see an electrical discharge on the crutch. It's enough that anybody standing close by would have their hair standing on end. And when it impacts, sparks explode out. This Borg, who is sitting upright, comically slides across the floor on its butt and slams into the wall. And it just... And you see the light, the laser light in its left eye just fade and turn off. And the Borg slumps. Combat is over.
I think you got it.
The only noise in the room right now, aside from the heavy breathing, is Throlo and the rapid breathing of Tolosh, whose body is... Tolosh is literally just... It's like he's going into shock.
And remind us of everybody who's in the room right now.
So it's all of it's all of you guys.
Us three, the Doc, Tolash. Anybody else?
Yeah, the Iridian, who's currently hiding behind one of the canisters, looking up, going, I didn't know. How could I have known? I wouldn't have done this.
I killed it. I killed the Borg. Oh, God.
The seconds
Throllo.
are ticking, and Throllo is...
Throllo. Shit, no.
So Throllo's going to need to be stabilized.
Rafael
Talon.
Martinez is going to run to Throllo,
Okay.
and while
Follow.
he's on his way, he's going to signal the Sally Ride. Martinez to Sally Ride, transporter room, emergency.
Where were you during this whole event?
Where was I?
Tell you what, instead of going back and twisting up the recaps,
Yeah.
we're gonna do this. We're gonna hear, Jiv here. What's going on, Captain?
There was a Borg on the station. Repeat, Borg on the station. I need emergency transport to Med Bay now.
I'm on it.
Quick, we have to stabilize her before she beams. Talon, can you hand me that hypo spray? The sedative. It'll slow her heart rate. It'll slow perfusion.
You're
of
gonna have to
nanites.
stabilize Throllo before the scene's in,
Yep.
or
That's
Throllo is going to die.
So
I hand it to you.
yeah. So
I pull out my tricorder to do a scan. Can I do a scan to just see if I can see
I'd really love the assist.
the
on
best
that
way?
stabilize.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
maybe we could do that first.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, let's do that first. Yeah.
I
So you're gonna
would
roll
like
a scan real quick? I'll let you roll a scan. The scene does, remember,
Okay,
like
all
there
right.
is a time crunch here, but it's a narrative time crunch, so you can run a scan. Just don't let the scene end before Throllo gets stabilized, and you'll be fine.
I want to see if I can find out through scanning what the best way to stabilize, the most efficient, quickest way to stabilize Throllo.
Okay, so go ahead and
Yeah.
roll. Difficulty on that's probably gonna be 3.
Can I? No, we'll save it for this type of stabilizing.
Yeah, I'm not that good at.
Now it is
Okay.
going to be, I'll say this is going to be a reason medicine roll.
Great. Okay.
Difficulty is 3.
Nah, didn't get it.
You're scanning. All you see is data is coming in on your tricorder. Throllo's body is a battleground right now.
Okay. All right.
I can do this.
So what are we doing?
Stabilize.
I'm stabilizing.
Assist.
Okay,
Do you want one of these?
I'm gonna pull out
yeah.
Jiv's character sheet.
Do I? Am I protecting my crew?
Oh yeah, I would
right.
definitely have this.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Okay.
And do you also want one of these? We don't know the difficulty.
Let's save
yet.
that. It's a DC2 check because she has the deadly trait, but we have the med kit, which
Lowers it by
normally
1?
lowers it by 1.
I'll let that. Yeah.
So that should go through clear
Okay.
before my roll.
All right.
Hello. Which anesthetics can be successfully aerosolized?
You.
Throllo, on what plane do you rotate the arm to reduce a shoulder dislocation?
There's. You don't hear anything, Throllo. There's no noise. There's just a roaring of your blood in your ears. That's all
Throllo.
you're hearing.
Do I roll for assist?
That depends, because assist is not going to count if Janelle rolled 0
I
successes.
got success from the determination.
You got a success?
From,
Okay.
from the determination.
From the determination.
That's not
Oh, okay. So you got the auto success. So go ahead and roll. Yeah, go ahead and
What am
roll.
I
This will be a good way to jack up some momentum.
What is it?
Difficulty's 3, and for you, it's going to be. So you're rolling the assist. You're using your science. So this is going to be. I'll say reason science on this. Knowing what you know about.
Crit. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 2 back up.
All right.
Hello.
4 successes on a difficulty 1?
Difficulty 2. Deadly trait.
So 2.
Oh, right, back to 1. Yes,
Reason,
3.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So, you immediately detect in your tricorder that Throllo's body has begun to stabilize somewhat, and they're probably safe for transport, but their time is short, as Tolash is.
That was successful. We need to transport Throllo immediately.
Both of them.
5 to transport. Transporter room, come in.
Okay, so while all of this is happening in your quarters, in a sort of like mild headachy haze that you're in, you hear chirping on the comm unit. Mala, where are you right now?
Jiv? I'm in my room. What's up?
I need you to get to the transporter room immediately. There's been a Borg attack on the station. One of us got hit. Get down there now. No
What?
questions. Go.
I'm already running.
Okay. So about the time you get to the transporter room,
Who was hit?
they didn't say. I need an emergency medical evacuation. Beam them straight to sickbay.
On it.
I'm gonna assist you. All right, 5 to beam out.
Get my...
Oh God, Shiv.
Okay, good.
It's not the time to roll a 20, buddy.
No.
What?
Oh, no.
What?
No.
But he did roll. So tell me what you got.
What am I rolling?
I'm gonna say this is gonna be your control engineering.
1 success.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna. Okay. All right. You arrive in engineering. All 5 of you beam into the engineering.
What happened?
Not engineering. You arrive in.
sickbay.
You arrive in sickbay, but as you arrive in sickbay, you arrive. Throlo and Tolosh are on the floor. As the transport finishes, Tolosh immediately just starts to spasm again. As the transporting process somehow has essentially muted the hypospray that he was given to stabilize against the Borg nanites.
What kind of?
And he begins to shake. You're all
in the
sing-
med bay right now?
Matazi stands up at the desk and goes, "Computer, activate emergency medical hologram. Please state the nature of the medical emergency. Get them on the bed. Get them on the bed." And he rushes over and immediately grabs Dr. Throlo and hefts her up with impressive strength and carries her over and lays her down on the bed. Help that one. I don't know the nature of the injury. It's Borg assimilation. And the hologram goes, oh. Brings over a tray, starts measuring out a hypospray, and how long? Matazi looks at all of you.
Moments. Minutes.
Matazi stabilizes Throlo again, so you're gonna be good for this scene. And he just looks at her for a second and goes, rushes over to the Klingon and goes, he's very close. Very close.
No.
Help me with this. The emergency medical hologram, you see this go, you see the, that bridge that comes up over the medical base, and Matazi immediately gets a spray and lands 2 criticals and a success. That's 5 successes. And stabilizes the shit out of the Klingon.
How many?
Actually, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you guys. I burned a momentum on that one to
Okay.
get a 3rd die.
Okay.
Or 2 momentum. I'm sorry, burned 2
Okay,
momentum.
2
to get a 3rd
momentum,
die.
5 success.
Yeah.
What was the DC?
What's that?
2 momentum, 2, what was the
The DC was
difficulty?
4.
Okay.
So you should get 1 momentum back.
So we're at 3.
We spent
All right.
Yeah, we already.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So a few moments pass and the engineering doors open and Mala, you come rushing in.
Yep.
And you see the command staff is here. 2 things. First of all, you see 2 bodies on the bed. One of them is definitely Throlo. The other one looks like it could be Tolosh. And Rue, you've never seen Rue look like this, ever. Matazi just says, I need room! And then he
Who else
rushes
in
back.
medical's on duty?
He rushes back over to the doctor and starts looking in her eyes. What is happening?
Captain.
Just real quick, this is not the full medical staff that is on duty
There's
right
one
now?
nurse here.
There's one nurse.
Remember,
Matazi is
first-
the one nurse or one additional?
Matazi and one other
Oh.
and one other nurse, and
And
I'll
the
let Ox
emergency-
crew decide who it is.
And the emergency medical hologram.
and the emergency
but
medical-
This is not all hands on deck
Right,
yet.
because we're not.
No, but he.
Or dogs.
Yeah, because remember, shore leave. So most of the
Yeah.
people are not on board the Sally Ride, and the skeleton crew is here. Is all in engineering.
When people are on shore leave, what is the procedure for like an
Calling them
emergency
back.
calling people back?
You just call them back. You can communicate to the entire crew if you want.
we can-
But just so you know, at that point, he gets on the communicator and goes, Lieutenant Tristan, where is your location?
I'm in my quarters.
I need your assistance in medbay immediately.
On my way.
Run.
Okay. I'll run.
And
I point to Matazi, say, who else do you need? Who else do you need?
I have everything I need. This is a race against time right now, Captain.
Okay, I understand.
The emergency, the EMH walks over to you and says, I understand that you're all distressed, but we really need as much space as possible.
Okay, everybody except essential personnel. Let's go. We're out.
Captain, the Borg got a signal out to the collective before it left. You have warned the station. I don't know if we need to evacuate. I don't know who did this, but find them. Warn the station.
That's what I'm gonna try to find out, Commander.
Doors open, and here comes a breathless Lieutenant Tristan, and you see the large black Cation standing over the body of a violently convulsing Dr. Throlo, and you see Tolosh is unconscious, with the EMH going, good.
Oh no.
We need you over here immediately.
Okay. What happened?
They were hit with Borg nanites.
Borg?
Yes, apparently there was a drone attack on the station. You can freak out later and have an emotional response at another time.
Okay. Mala. How long ago were they hit?
Minutes.
Mala,
What?
can you put together an electromagnetic pulse?
Yeah.
Something really quick and really strong.
Yeah, I got
We
it.
need to stop these nanites.
Matazi looks at you and says, will that work?
I don't know.
It'll kill the nanites. It'll kill them. Have cortical stimulators on standby.
I would like to assist.
Okay.
If you need my assistance.
Okay.
Yes.
Make it happen.
Talon.
Make it happen.
Assist me with a scan. I need to make sure their vitals are stable enough to undergo this kind of procedure.
Difficult. What am I using?
So, I would say roll, this is gonna be, I'll let you roll reason science on this. And Matazi's gonna do his roll.
I didn't hear the difficulty.
The difficulty is 2.
Do I get to use focus?
A focus?
Yeah. No.
Do you have xenobiology?
Xenobiology, I do.
Yeah, I'll let you use xenobiology.
Then
on this.
I got 4 successes.
Okay.
Yes.
As you guys running through the scan, every second counting, Matazi goes, what is happening? What?
Nurse Matazi, what is happening? Tell us what is happening.
Look at this. And he goes over and he presses a few buttons on the wall, and you see Throlo's vital signs come up, a scan of their biology, essentially. Deep tissue scans and everything. You see like the different layers, the bones, the nervous system, circulatory system. You see a black cloud of nanites circulating through their system, and the other half of this system looks like it's rounding them up. Looks like it's like a shepherd dog rounding up sheep, and you see it centralizing the nanites. It looks like her entire body has begun to respond.
She's fighting it.
Physician, heal thyself.
This is not possible, though.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Fix it. Fix it now!
Give me an extraction. The doctor.
I'll help with that.
He says, give it to me. He takes it and says, they're localized here. And he puts the hypospray up against Throlo's body, sticks it against her skin, and says, watch this. And he presses, and you see an extraction, and all the nanites that have been rounded up just go into the extraction tube, and he's, that shouldn't be possible. What is happening? What is happening? He goes over to her neck where more nanites have been rounded up, and all of you guys are starting to notice Throlo's skin pigment is starting to change colors. But unlike Talosh, you see it beginning to turn a light shade of green.
I'm going to point to the EMH and be like, you, with me. And we're going to do the same scans on Talosh.
Okay, the EMH says, yes. Yes, well, I mean, it's too much to hope for 2 miracles, but let's try.
Is it reprogrammed?
He moves over, run the scan on Tolosh.
Uh-huh.
All right, so you're going to make a reason science check.
Okay.
Or a reason medicine check, sorry.
Okay.
And then he's going to make a control medicine.
And I'm going to use my focus of emergency medicine.
Excellent, that will definitely come into play. And I got 2 successes here. The difficulty is going to be 3.
No
Do you have it?
successes.
Do you have cautious?
I don't, but I don't have any successes. No.
Okay.
What is
No
the
complications?
complication range? Is it
It's
higher
20.
than normal? Okay, then.
You're fine?
No.
You rolled pretty high.
Yep.
So scanning, it doesn't look like there's anything going on with Tolosh. It looks like Tolosh is on the verge of being completely assimilated.
Okay.
And you're actually seeing the inside of his circulatory system. You're actually seeing, in your scan, you're seeing what looks like inorganic matter is being constructed. In other words, metal is literally being laced to the inside of his skeleton right now.
Okay.
He is being assimilated.
Junil, EMH, we're gonna need restraints on him as soon as possible. Can we get a security team in here?
Chief, should we begin working on an
I've got him.
EMP?
Use the medical files on me.
And then
Should describe the instructions.
mid-sentence, you all hear, and Throlo, you're laying on your back in the medical bed. You feel that pounding in the back of your head is subsided. You feel tingling sensations all over your body. And glancing up, you can see Matazi. The love in his eyes, the terror as he's looking down at you, these big, beautiful cat eyes, and his bewilderment as you wake up. He says, "Doctor, how is this possible?"
Nurse? Tolosh? Janelle?
He activates the sensors, and he's like, "I didn't have a chance for a second extraction." And as you look at the medical scans, you watch that black cloud of Borg nanites shrink and vanish on the medical screen.
What? Q?
Okay, we'll figure it out in a minute. Get Tolosh.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
I'm at the computer pulling
Doctor,
up the
are
files.
you feeling all right?
Am I feeling alright?
You feel like you woke up from a nap.
What the fuck?
I'm fine. What's our situation?
Our
I tried to
situation
get
is you're
up.
staying in bed.
You sit up fine. There's no ache, no pain, no nothing. You get up, you're just like... And you kind of glance over, and you see, just as you glance over, you see something emerging from the cheekbone of Tolosh. Looks like a little metal spike.
Freeze him now!
EMP.
Yeah.
You see the EMH emergency force field. And
Back away.
you all back away, and you see one by one little pieces of metal emerging from his body.
Now.
What do we do?
Freeze him!
Freeze him?
Do you have an EMP? Do you have it?
I'm building it. I'm building it.
Yeah.
Tell you what, we can say this: if you want to spend if you want to burn some momentum for the narrative to
Yeah.
change the narrative up, we can say you rush back in to the med bay with a portable EMP.
Yeah.
Then go ahead and spend 1 point of momentum.
Yep.
Spend it. Thank
We're
you.
down to 2.
The doctor goes, "This might fry my hollow emitters."
We've resolved the medical emergency. Thank you.
Well, I hope you reactivate me again someday. He disappears. Matazi goes, "Everyone clear out!
Everyone get-
Immediately! Clear out! Behind there! Computer, erect a level 3 force field." You now have this EMP. The force field, you basically put this thing inside the force field and activate it. And then reinitiate the force field. It's going to destroy the force field, but it'll protect everyone from the blast.
And I prepped the cortical simulation we'll need
Okay.
based on.
Yep.
You set it down, Rue. It's you know exactly what this is going to feel like to Tolosh. You know exactly what Tolosh is feeling right now.
I actually don't hit the button. I give it to someone else and I leave the room because this is gonna be really freaking painful for me too.
I do it.
Okay. Yeah. I can,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be me.
Matazi, everyone gets behind the
Yeah.
force field. Everything is set up, and just as you see Tolosh's eyes open,
Yeah, cool. Good boy. And I press the button.
all the LCAR systems in the sick bay drop to black. As there's this electrical static discharge, electricity is playing out. The force field is devoured in this electrical storm as you see Tolosh's body just immediately just seize up as far as it can go, stretching its joints to its maximum capacity as all of the muscles contract to the top effect that it can. And what is eerie about the sensation, Mala, is you actually don't hear anything. you feel the presence. It feels like a haze. Like there's more than one person in there, and then it goes quiet. It's eerie. It's like you're expecting to hear a crowd scream, and instead, you hear crickets. And so it's this eerie zap, and then nothing. You all watch as Tolosh falls back down.
Stim, now.
Matazi runs in with you. You see Matazi gets over and he pulls out his tricorder and goes, "No life signs." Make a roll, Doctor.
I re-enter the room.
This is going to be a... I'm going to say this is going to be reason medicine.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty here is going to be 3.
Yeah. Do you want an assist from...
Matazi's assisting you as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jesus. Wish I could roll like this in a D&D game.
Oh no.
Do you want another assistant?
Matazi's not going to be any help here. But the roll's made, so go ahead and make your roll, Frollo.
May I spend my bring on the next emergency determination? Did I get a determination back at the start of the start?
Yeah. I'm not going to be cruel to you guys. Yeah, you can have your determination back.
Okay, too late.
Not really.
You said reason medicine, right?
Reason medicine, yes. Difficulty's 3.
5 successes.
You jolt Tolosh's body. Again, the seizing. If he survives this, he's going to have to go through some physical therapy because his muscles are taking a brutality. And as his body slumps back down here and go... And Matazi goes, "Life signs are very faint. Stabilizing him." Easy. Matazi looks down and says, "He's gonna need a lot of work, but I think he's gonna make it out of this."
I'm gonna go over and comfort Janelle.
"Doctor, how are you alive right now? How are you standing here helping me do this?"
I assume you are a genius.
"I only wish it were so, Doctor. I'll have a lot of data to show you."
We have a lot of work to do first.
"You said there was a Borg. Where is it?"
Earlier, as soon as Tolosh was starting to get stabilized, I left the room.
Okay.
And as I left the room, I headed out into the hallway and I said, "Martinez to Jiv.
Yeah, Captain. Is everyone
There
all right?
should be a civilian life form in Cargo Bay 12 on the station. Beam it to the brig now."
I'm reading him inside of his ship, Captain, but I can still beam him.
Get him.
What about that Borg husk?
Well, after I did that, I was, I don't know. What's the way to, again, what's the procedure for a captain running around in the hallways of a ship to send out a message to the Admiral, to the station?
You can get a hold of the Admiral.
Just from anywhere?
Yeah, you're a
Wouldn't
captain
be
of a starship.
secure.
You have access to senior staff. Yeah.
It wouldn't be secure,
so.
but I can do it from my own communicator.
You do it from one of the wall communication
wall
units.
communication units. So then I'm going to pull over to a wall communication unit, and I'm going to punch it in. Rafael Martinez to Admiral Hobart.
You hear, "Oh, yes. Martinez, what is it?"
I've got an emergency, April. There was a Borg on the station. There is a husk currently sitting in Cargo Bay 12. I have had some crew people hurt by this thing. They seem to be stabilized at the moment. Potentially the Klingon may be assimilated. I am dealing with this on my ship, but there is a Borg husk in Cargo Bay 12. You need to send a team to it immediately and lock down the station if possible.
There's a couple of moments of silence, and then she says, "Team is away. I need to know everything."
At this
All right,
point, you
is
know as
everybody
much as
all
I
right?
do.
Is everybody okay?
I'm gonna find out, but it seemed like my doctor miraculously recovered, yes.
I'm on my way to your ship now. Stand by.
I'm gonna quarantine myself, by the way, as soon as it seems like we have a plan for Tolash.
Matazi sets up a quarantine field and gets on the other side of it, as per your orders.
Janelle, I need you to look at me, all right? You know what this means, and you know that he's a fighter. He's gonna make it through this, all right? We need you at the top of your game. You're the only one that knows what this is like.
He'll fight. Or else.
That's it.
I know I'm better in melee than you, but this wasn't the way to do it.
So, Mala, you're feeling a sensation of relief, like the release of stress. Still alarm and shock, definitely resonating through senior staff. You're in the hallway, and you've just listened to Captain Martinez give out the call to Admiral Hobart, who responded. And Martinez turns, and the two of you are alone in the hallway at the moment, as Thorlo's quarantining sickbay.
What happened?
We didn't know what was in there. Some kind of illegal selling of some sort of cargo. We got a tip, and we opened it up just to see what it was. It was a goddamn Borg.
The commander said that they got a signal out.
Possibly.
And that's when you hear stations, condition red. Stations, condition red. You hear Hobart to Martinez.
Martinez here, go ahead.
Security team did not find a Borg corpse in the cargo bay. I put the station on red alert. There's no way to hide this. We're gonna find out where it is, but I'm gonna need your crew's help.
Understood.
Stand by for transport.
Did we get the Uridian?
Yeah, he's in our brig.
Jiv got him.
Bless you.
His name is Gritus, right? Gritus?
Mhm.
Yeah, we got Gritus. Probably innocent, but we still got his ass, so.
You get it.
A few moments pass again, and rounding the hallway is Admiral Hobart, who's exited the transporter room. She is in casual Admiral uniform. Looks like you probably caught her when she was laying down to go to bed.
Yeah, that's fine.
She's
I
got
don't
an
care.
open jacket, a very severe look on her face, and she storms down the hallway and she goes, "Where's your crew? Are they all right?"
They're in the med bay.
She walks right past you into the med bay.
I follow her.
You see Matazi stands up and goes, "Admiral on deck."
I don't think you should be in here, Admiral.
Thank you, Lieutenant. What's the situation?
We had Borg encounters. Some of our crew were infected. They're stabilized for now. One of our doctor is in quarantine, and the Klingon escort is also in quarantine.
You said crew members?
Yes,
Who else was hit beside the Klingon?
our doctor.
You were hit?
We have a lot more questions than answers, and a couple of them are actually good, nice questions. But who was trying to buy a Borg body?
Someone was trying to buy a Borg body? She looks around and says, "I'm gonna need to know everything you know."
Yeah.
We have the cellar in our brig currently. That was the miraculous recovery that I was talking about.
The doctor.
I imagine, Admiral, that everybody is sweeping the cargo bays currently, looking for this drone.
What?
I've had to alert General Kargan, unfortunately.
They didn't find the husk, Commander.
No,
What?
there's no Borg in the cargo bay.
Rue, gonna get out and find a goddamn Borg.
Can we do a scan of the
Scans are being done.
station? Okay. And
Big
it's not
station.
showing up on any scans yet?
Not at the moment. But she does mention that Sally Ride, if there's anything that could spot a Borg or Borg life form on that station, get to your science research station or up to the bridge, because the
Yep.
sensor suite on Sally Ride will definitely spot it.
Let's do it. Anyone want to scan with me? I guess I can just go by myself.
Admiral, what team did you send to find the husk?
Security. I sent my top security teams.
Okay.
It may not be a husk. We may need to consider this an active, live Borg threat.
You were able to neutralize it?
Commander themselves took care of it, yeah.
Someone's trying to hide their tracks. They could have put it back in the box, preventing the scans. They could have it on
Or
one of the
it-
ships docking.
You got it?
We need
You
to
took
find
it
it
out?
now.
Or it could have stood up and walked out. It's one of those two options.
When we were in
That's
the
not my
cargo
problem.
bay and I scanned that box, does that mean I have like a signature of what that box emits?
Yeah,
I
it's
know it
basically
blocks signals, but it emits something because it's powered.
It wasn't. It emits like a power signature, but all it really was black markets sensor jammers, essentially. But
is there any part
Look
of
for
that?
the blank spot.
But are you?
Yeah,
if you're
exactly.
asking if you have some kind of sensor reading on the Borg itself, yes.
I meant the box too, though.
The box is definitely still in the cargo bay.
Either.
Oh,
So-
the box is in the cargo bay.
Box is in the cargo bay.
Okay, all right.
Yep. The thing that it came in is still there.
I didn't.
Okay, so someone didn't put it in the box, but it's gone.
I imagine your crew inspected the box, Admiral.
They found an empty cargo container with sensor jamming equipment all over it, as well as environmental units installed inside.
So either somebody, potentially the buyer of this illegal sale, has moved the body to cover their tracks, or the thing got up
Or
and walked
worse,
out on its
the
own.
thing got
Yes.
up and walked out.
I would love to do a scan.
All right, so you're going to head to the bridge or the research center?
Whichever's closer.
Probably research.
Research center's on the same deck as the med bay.
Then I'm going to go to the research.
Okay, you're just
center.
walking down the hall, basically.
Yep.
In that case, while she does that, I need to talk to this arms merchant.
Yeah.
Follow me.
You're all good here?
Matazi Paylor, I need to know what happened here. Is this a non-standard Borg attack? I've read everything about these attacks, and this isn't supposed to happen. I need to make sure that I just start spewing questions about making sure Tolash is okay, trying to figure out what happened to me. Has anybody told me I'm green?
No.
Is my hand green,
not
or is
easy.
it? Okay,
Your
so I
whole
don't
body,
know yet.
Your
We'll
whole
just hold
body,
off.
it's like this. I mean, what's that tint between blue and green?
Teal.
Teal.
Yeah.
Teal or turquoise, yeah.
Like
Kind of like kind of like that. Yeah. It's kind of, it's
blue-green
noticeably
now.
different. It's noticeably different.
Like just here or all over?
Your whole body.
Oh, okay. In
Your
that case,
whole
I'm
body.
distracted.
And looking
You
down your
had
shirt,
green
looking up your sleeves, it's all, everything, your whole skin pigment has changed.
That's
Alright.
a mystery to add to the list. Okay.
I suppose we can start scans. We have to tend to Tolash too.
Of course.
If there's going to need some emergency surgery, we need to recover
First
as much
priority.
as we can.
Matazi says the damage that's been done not only to his outside layer as well as his internal skeleton. The entire fleshy apparatus of his body has been damaged.
We have
When-
the records on this. We are the people who can do this.
His conscience is still in there.
Well, it looks like we've managed to
Consciousness.
sever his connection to the collective before it was established. So if we just get in there and remove the rest of the dead nanites as well as extract any of the implants that were grown, I think he'll be all right. But it's not going to be easy. We should start now.
Before they start, I go over to Tolash and I lean over him and I whisper into his ear, "Whoever did this to you, I will have vengeance for you. They will bleed." I'm gonna leave and go with Admiral Hobart.
Okay.
Take care of him.
I'll say the camera caught that, but not the crew. It was one of them Star Trek close-up moments. You leave with Hebert. You guys are proceeding down into the
Brig.
brig. So let's do this. Mahler, what are you doing with all of this? What would Mala do? How would she want to be useful here?
I have an idea about that, but
Yeah?
if we do a scan and can find the Borg drone,
Beam it out.
maybe you can either beam it somewhere or shut down some doors so it can't get out or something like that.
Yeah, two heads are better than one. That would be good.
So where am I going, Captain?
You're following Lieutenant Commander,
Okay.
helping her with whatever she needs.
Yeah. Just a little. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. So we go.
Okay. So we'll do this scene by scene. We'll start with you, Talon. So you and Mala make it to the research center. Okay. You walk inside. It's empty,
Okay.
which is a little unusual.
That's on vacation then. Okay.
Baker probably
She
decided to
deserves it.
actually maybe go out a little bit. But yeah, walking inside, Sally Ride's sensor suite is at your command. As you walk up, you bring it up all online. Go ahead and make a roll. Would you like to assist here?
I would love to assist.
Okay, so this is a reason
rolling
science
for
check,
Sally
which
as
is your
well?
bread and butter. What's that?
Am I rolling for Sally?
Yeah.
Okay,
Roll
great.
for Sally as well. Difficulty here is going to be 4.
4.
But it's reduced to 3 because Sally right.
3. So I have to.
Is this a sensor science roll for Sally?
Sensor science, and for you, I'm going to say it's going to be a control engineering check.
Are we doing to save these?
All right,
for
so then
anything?
that's down 1 on the difficulty for the sensors.
Making it 3.
3. So from 4 to 3.
Yeah.
Should I take one?
Yeah, go ahead and take one.
Yeah.
We're down to we're at
Just
2
kinda
momentum
close. Okay.
now. Thank you.
All right. Reason science.
And I'm just talking out loud. The station, USS Sally Ride is parked, right? And
Cautious. 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 Cautious.
Oh, it's very bad. It's very, very bad.
Cautious!
Very bad.
Cautious. What can I reroll with cautious?
1.
All right.
What was the question?
What was I rolling from all that?
What was the
Control engineering.
complication range? Was it just 20?
It's just 20.
Well,
Oh.
that's good. 2, maybe 3 success. If sensors. Yeah, if I can use sensors focus, then I have
3
3
success, but the
successes.
difficulty
You can use
was 4.
sensors focus, and then what do you?
Can I use a focus for this?
Which focus?
Damage control?
No.
Systems augmentation? Jury rigging? What are we doing?
Instructions anyway.
Is this just a scan?
You're trying to control the damage.
I
that
know.
the Borg
This is
doing.
this is like real life damage control. I'm assessing the situation
what are your other
and
focuses?
cleaning everything up.
What are your other focuses?
Empathy.
No. No focuses are probably going to apply here. I'm essentially ruling that
No.
the way Mullen's kind of helping is you're rerouting power into the sensor unit while she scans.
Jury rigging?
Isn't that systems augmentation or jury rigging? I'm rerouting
Not
power.
jury rigging.
Oh, right.
Not
Sounds
at
like
all is
maybe
it jury
system.
rigging, but
No.
could be systems augmentation.
It could, Eric.
Boosting the
Yes, it could.
If Chief Wren is,
I mean, a power transfer is a pretty basic. I don't know if you're
I'm still augmenting the system.
You're literally just shunting
system.
power into
She
another
doesn't
system. I
roll
don't know if
well
you're-
often. You need to give it to me.
Eric, come on. Let me have this one.
I know, I'm on the fence on this one. I'll roll a die.
Okay.
Even or odd?
Even.
15.
Still succeeded.
Yeah.
I did, but
You still
feels a
succeeded?
little less
All of that?
exciting.
Well, but it's from you had 3 and then
3.
4.
So 4.
That did it.
Ship anything? No.
2.
Oh.
Oh,
2
6.
successes.
Okay.
6 total.
so we're up to 3.
All right.
All right.
Momentum.
So, you see an outline of the station. Sally detects every life form on board this station. She detects the mineral deposits that were used to create the station, detecting some of the things that are coming and going. Sally can detect a lot of the particles floating outside the station that are moving through space, that are blinking in and out of existence the way they do. And you almost miss it. At the very bottom of one of the dorsal communication towers outside the station is a Borg signature.
How did it get down?
And as the questions start flowing in, you can spin momentum if you want to know how it got there or what it's doing.
Yeah,
But you
I want
detect
to
it.
do a thing.
You detect it.
Science officer.
Science
Can I-
officer
Can
question.
I pull up the security footage?
Science office question. What would
Yeah.
you like
I
to
want
know?
to I want to pull up the security footage from the cargo bay between
Ding, ding,
the
ding,
moments
ding,
of
ding, ding,
To see
when you
if it was
disappeared.
moved or it moved
Wait,
itself.
yeah.
Okay. So you pull up the security footage and you see the last few seconds, the harrowing moments that led up to it being smashed. And the shouting and then the emergency beam out. You see, as y'all beam out, you see the Uridian kind of lean forward and he stays really still. And then you see him pulling out, it looks like a weapon. And he starts arming it and he's aiming it at the body when all of a sudden the Borg goes and right like the Terminator just gets up and the Uridian no and then runs back into his vessel and closes the door, and the Borg looks around for a moment and you see it stand there just motionless for a second, and then it says regeneration protocols activated, and then it goes ding 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 zzz, and beams out.
Oh, so beam to the control tower. Science officer question.
Ask your science question.
Has it tapped into that communication tower?
It is in the process of tapping into the communication.
Aha! So it hasn't. Okay.
So essentially what happens is when you, to answer that question, you bring it up and you can see it on the view screen. This Borg, this Klingon Borg tactical drone, is standing on the hull of one of these communication arrays. Now, to give you some idea, the dorsal communication array on this station is about the size of the Eiffel Tower, stretching straight up hundreds and hundreds of meters, and it is at the very top of this thing, standing sideways, magnetically attached to it, and it is in the vacuum of space, pressing a few buttons on its arm, and you see a panel, and it reaches down and just with its bare hands begins to tear some of the hull plating open, and you see sparks fly a little bit, and you see tubes go and start accessing the communications array.
No! Beam it!
Can
What
we-
are the
what do we
protocols
do?
of beaming
What do
only
we do?
parts of it? I want to rip it apart!
Here's a thought: can you beam it into space and then just fire our ship's
Everything.
weapons at it to
Just
obliterate
pull. Yeah.
Are we
Let's
nearby a
beat
star?
shoot this Borg.
Can you?
Captain?
Can
I'll
I?
tell- so I want to just tell Captain we've located the Borg drone. It is on the dorsal communication array. Was that what?
It's on one of like 20 of them. It's one of the largest
Antenna.
one right now.
It's on the largest of our communication arrays on the dorsal side of the ship.
beam it into space and then destroy it.
Yes, sir.
On it, Captain.
So someone's gonna need to get to weapons.
You need me to shoot, sir?
Can I just tell you something? I have fantasized about a scene like this. I have always wanted to see. This is so like
fun.
my friends and I used to joke about what it would be like because in TNG, like
The closest we get is assimilate this.
right. But
closest
in
we get.
TNG, Picard would be like send a security team, and Worf and two guys would show up and get their asses kicked.
Yeah, it's like
My friend Matt used to
beam
joke.
it into space.
Yeah, my friend Matt used to joke with 1,000 people on board. He'd get on the comms and be like, "I want every man, woman, and child on deck 14 now." There's 1,000 people just converge. I'm like, all right. So you
Catch up with him
who's
in a
rushing
minute.
up to the? Okay, so who's rushing up to the bridge? You're gonna rush up to the bridge?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm rushing
follow
to. I'm
behind.
rushing
Commander,
to
get up
beam,
there.
and I also kind of want to see this.
That's true. Rue was standing next to you when you
I
gave
was
the order.
right next. I asked if he wanted me to take the shot. He told me.
I
to get
would
up
I
there.
would stop the Admiral and I would say
You're gonna wanna
because
see
we're-
this?
Yeah, I'm like, let's go to the bridge. April,
Okay.
let's go to the bridge right now because
Okay.
we need to make sure this thing is destroyed.
As y'all step onto the bridge, the lights on the bridge go. They come back up online. It was dark for a second as you stepped in, and
like
everyone
a cleaning
takes
crew,
their
like-
stations.
Whoa.
Yeah, everyone takes their stations. The Borg has successfully begun to access the communication array. Now, whether it's transmitting or not, you don't know. But as you get to your stations, you see that it has accessed the communications protocol.
Should have told the station to shut it down or something. Okay.
It's possible that
that's
they
on the
know
Admiral.
that it's happening, and they're
Yeah.
not. They don't have a commander data up there to lock it out as quickly as they need to.
Or they're trying. We don't know.
Yeah.
That's
we
true.
don't have access to station systems
Very
in
true.
here.
So, question: is the Borg drone just being activated itself? Does that mean it is connected to the collective and could already send a signal, or does it need to hack into what it's trying
It's
to hack
possible that so a collective. So the Borg will almost always immediately connect to the collective immediately. But if the collective if the distance is too great, even for a Borg transceiver, which is very rare but sometimes possible, they will tap into bigger communication devices to boost the signal, like they did in First Contact. But they were trying to reach the Borg in another quadrant in First Contact. So it's unclear if the Borg are so far away that he's trying to reach them, or if he's got some other plan.
into? Got some other plan.
If I
You're
did
not
just
sure.
something.
Real quick, too, at this point in the Star Trek timeline, where are the Borg? Has First Contact happened yet?
First Contact has happened.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
I believe
Yeah.
First Contact will have happened. No.
It's
because
right about-
no, not yet. Because Worf doesn't have command of the Defiant yet.
Yeah, I mean we're right around that time, so
We're
it's
getting
like,
really close, but First Contact hasn't taken place.
But
We
it's
would
not-
know about it.
It's
Yeah.
not like it does it take. But First Contact happens in the middle of Deep Space Nine.
I think
right?
we're
Or
really
at the
close
end
to
of
it. I don't have.
It
I
is
don't-
the year that happened.
Yes, but
Okay.
but it is the year that Worf is given command of the USS Defiant.
Because also,
But-
I'm a little hazy on what happens exactly in First Contact. Isn't it just like a temporary, like, Worf, you're back? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
they
get a
do it
thing
every
just
single
to,
time.
just to be in the movie, and then you go back to Deep
The
Space
best
Nine.
is the last movie where they're just like, Worf, what are you doing here? And as he starts to answer, they cut away, and, so you, and you just hear him talking in the background. the writers basically pulled an Eric. They're like, I don't want to go into this. Let's just get to the there. Okay, he's here,
Star
guys.
Trek Nemesis.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Yeah.
What's up?
I heard whispers before.
Mm-hmm.
Do I still?
Not at the moment.
Well, easier to
Okay,
take shot
Am I
without
hearing
voices
anything
in my
that
head.
shouldn't be here?
Nope.
Oh, good.
Nope.
Oh, me neither. Good, just checking. Cool.
No, that's mirror.
Oh yeah.
Before we move him,
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna try to signal jam whatever the Borg is trying to send out.
Yes.
Okay, that's a
What
difficulty
plane?
2.
Yeah.
Strawberry.
Yes.
I believe that's a control
Blueberry.
engineering.
What was I
check.
thinking?
It's a control security.
Control security. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
wait,
'cause
hang
it
on.
used to be under.
No. Assisted by the ship, which is communication
Alright.
security.
Communication security. Okay.
I'm gonna put Sully die.
You gonna roll for that, Sam?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
This looks
So
spacey.
control engineering task.
Now I believe the
Control
difficulty is 2.
What's our girl rolling?
Communications and security. Do you guys mind if I
Okay.
use a momentum?
Please.
Not at all. We're down to 2.
Thank you.
All right. So you're trying to jam systems, the transmission from the space station, correct?
I'm trying to block the signal coming from the.
Okay.
The trying to stop the signals
Okay.
that are.
So Sally Ride is broadcasting a signal on the inverse wave.
Yes.
So the difficulty here, because you've inadvertently stumbled upon why he's doing this, because he's a tactical drone, and the tactically speaking probably anticipated being signal jammed,
Right.
so is accessing your antenna so that he can't be signal jammed. So the difficulty here is actually going to be 4, and I'm
Okay.
going to spend 3 threat to raise the complication range.
I'm like on the bridge. I'm like, Chief, what's he
Okay.
trying to do, Chief? What's happening?
I'm trying to find out, Captain.
You know, you don't see this, but right behind you it says, "We've got an update for you. Restart now."
Chief, what the hell is going on?
Sally Ride!
He's trying to update our systems.
Son of a bitch!
The Borg!
Another time.
This is the problem with the Sally Ride running on Windows 10.
It's a virus.
Oh my god.
Look, we fired an EMP, all the systems had to restart, and now it does a mandatory update. All right,
Yeah,
let's do the
exactly.
thing.
Yeah. Let's do the thing.
Difficulty is 4,
But
the
then 3, right? Because Sally's assisting.
But it's not a sensor
It's
roll.
not a
sensors
sensors roll, so the
roll.
difficulty is still
Dang
going to be
No,
4.
it's a comms roll.
Okay.
Because, the universe is unkind.
Yeah.
So
Worth a
17 or
try.
higher is a complication.
Eric.
Must do.
Do what you can,
The
Chief.
Borg, you guys are in a boss fight right now.
I'm aware!
Are you? I wasn't sure. I was going to check in with you, Sam. Sam seems to be aware.
Oh, that was a
Okay.
mole face, oh no.
That's a Maleface. I'm
Maleface.
fucking cautious.
So, everybody, when you're playing Star Trek Adventures at home, take cautious.
Yeah.
Yeah!
The most used.
Take cautious.
Take cautious.
There's nothing I can do about that, right?
You have, like,
Is it a
untapped
complication?
potential
Did you succeed with a complication?
Yeah.
What did Sally get? Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, so you succeeded with a complication. All right.
I mean, I didn't get 4.
You didn't get 4 successes?
No.
Okay.
No, I got 2 successes.
Did you
or... We
say?
can spend momentum to
With a-
remove a complication if we want.
Yeah.
That is a thing worth considering
Yeah.
because
doing.
Borg.
Yeah, let's do
doing
that.
also.
So
Okay,
let's
so
spend a
it's-
momentum.
I think it's 2.
I think it is too. Oh, but I'm gonna need one to pull. And
You could also moment of inspiration reroll all dice.
and
I
you
don't know
can-
if that'll help us.
rally us.
Did you buy one? Because you might
Jesus.
use untapped potential.
I did buy one.
What
So
does
you-
untapped potential do?
Untapped potential. If you buy a dice beforehand, you can re-roll with 1 momentum spent.
If you're-
But
instead
isn't it only if you bought an added threat?
It's also if you're a rookie. You're a rookie, correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
okay,
she
cool.
bought one before rolling.
I thought it was threat or mo.
Oh, okay.
I could
cool.
be wrong.
Dope.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I
fine.
have the opposite talent.
So
What's the plan? What are we doing?
I
I
think
can
it's-
re-roll
it-
another one?
Yeah, it costs 1 instead of 2. To
So
re-roll.
we'll spend 1 momentum
One
for
momentum
Chief
to
to re-roll
re-roll.
that complication. Okay.
Come on,
All right.
crit, come on,
That's
crit,
cool.
Come on, crit, come on,
I'm
crit.
okay with that plan.
You rolled a 20, didn't
Was
you?
that
Yeah.
a nat 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is bad.
Here are all of the.
I mean,
I did an extensive dice haka that someone did participate in.
Extensive dice haka?
Yeah.
but those are
Here,
you
every
got
one
these
of these
today.
rolled a 1. They're. We have brand new ones from Piper's Twin.
I bought you dice at Emerald City and I
not
forgot to give
those
them to you.
again. Not move those there.
Well,
And send these to Dice Jail. Those go to the brig. Bring them.
Dice break, dice break.
Burn.
Transport.
I hope that you burn.
transport that to the frickin' moon.
Beam it into the sun.
Thank you,
Oh no!
Okay.
So we can't spend a momentum to get rid of that complication.
You guys
It has to
have
be-
run out of resources to stop that roll
It has to
from
be two
happening.
momentums to get rid of the
Yeah.
complication.
Yeah.
So,
Can we spend one momentum in one thread?
Gina,
Yeah.
Mala is having her first computer battle with a Borg. Because essentially, as you try to initiate sensor jamming, it detects what you're attempting to do, and it begins to immediately compensate, and it works just way too fast, far beyond what you're capable of keeping up with. It is not organically possible to do what it's doing. It's the computations it's running through right now to stay a step ahead of you. They are insurmountable.
At least I'm distracting it.
Yes.
Next,
You're slowing it down.
and you do begin to detect a signal starting to emanate from the Borg and the communications array.
I beam him.
Okay, so make a roll.
Or is Jiv beaming him?
Yeah.
Jiv's in the transporter room, so like it's a lower difficulty.
Jiv can beam him.
Jiv, beam
This is
him.
kind of what Jiv.
Wait.
Jiv is beamed out of some pretty tight
Jiv
spots.
is in the transporter room,
So the
correct?
difficulty will be lowered by 1
like
because he's at the station.
And can she assist?
Yeah.
I'll assist.
Or you could not assist. What if you did?
I believe in you, Mom.
Captain. Bolster morale. Bolster morale.
Right.
It's my job to
seriously.
talk like that.
I mean, really though, you can rally us.
You're gonna kill us.
Actually, I can. How about this?
Directive.
Hey, question, Eric. Can
Yeah.
I use my
I really need to say this.
advisor? Can I
To
use my
bolster Jiv?
to bolster either Jiv or Mala's assist?
I can. What does it do again?
It is whenever I'm using the command discipline,
Yeah.
the character being assisted may re-roll 1d20.
Okay, that's good. That's good to keep handy.
So can I throw that to an assist or to Jiv, or it doesn't matter?
I'm not gonna rule. It doesn't matter.
Okay, well then
If,
check
there,
this out.
if she's I would say throw it to Jiv.
Captain,
I would
just fire me now.
Jiv's got a juicy dice pool. I'd say
Even
throw
better,
it to Jiv.
I'll inspire you.
Will you?
Yes.
You're gonna kill us.
In the
You're
game,
gonna kill us.
but in real life. No, yes. I will do that. Look, Jiv knows what he's doing. Jiv's fine. He's in the transporter room. He's got it. He's got it.
Everyone knock on wood.
He's gonna beam this Borg out into space to then where Commander Rue's gonna vaporize the shit out of him. But you're gonna help Jiv
I am.
because you know what you're doing.
I do.
You look at me, Mala. You know what you're doing. You're capable of this. That thing is a machine. You can kick its ass. You've got this. You've got this.
I've taken so many machines apart.
Yes,
Do
you
it
have.
again.
Take it apart. Help Jiv take it apart.
I'm gonna take it apart.
You've got this. And the backup thing is, if you wanted to re-roll what you're about to re-roll, you can because I just assisted you.
Thank
So
you.
there you go. So
right.
Jiv,
I'm
beam him
gonna,
into space.
I'm gonna set the difficulty here to site transport.
But we're not super picky about location.
That's true.
When I say
Just
space,
beaming it out.
space.
Alana, if you want to try
I
to
mean-
keep a lock on it with scanners,
Yeah,
that would be
I
super.
wanna do that.
That'll make it a lot easier for me to hit.
I want to do that.
Okay, I'm gonna. And there's no momentum left, is there?
There's one.
You want to save that for your shot, right?
I would prefer not to throw it away.
And you're probably gonna need to, because that's a.
Yeah, it's gonna
a
be
s-
some stupid check, but
Not stupid, but I mean, you're hitting a small target. And still, phasers are designed to hit with precision.
right, they're
so,
they're pinpoint.
But
But that's why I want the scanner.
Jiv is not gonna. He's just gonna do his thing.
He's got it.
all right.
Because you do have a determination, and it is a Borg.
Yeah.
Determination. No, I've looked at his values, and they're not going to apply here.
What?
Yeah.
He doesn't care about any of us.
There's this value that says if it's Talon, then I don't want to do it.
Oh, my Dyson. Vulcan rays.
Jiv gets on the communication and goes, wait, just so I'm clear, it's not Talon I'm beaming, right?
No.
All right, cool, I'll do it. Yeah.
I just
Alright,
make a
cool.
note in my pad.
All right, here we go.
Passive aggressive.
So I'm going to set the difficulty.
Passive aggressive.
I'm going to set the difficulty at 3. So go ahead and make your assist roll.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Right.
And
What
Jiv
does
is
Sally
rolling-
roll
okay.
on beam?
Sally is rolling engineering and Shiza.
And
Are you rolling it, Sam?
computers engineering?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Computers engineering?
That's correct.
Cool.
Difficulty is 3.
Crit.
2 successes from Jiv.
Once
And okay, so
4 total successes. What was the
Five.
difficulty was
5.
3.
Sally crit.
two.
Me too, Vet.
So
get 3 back.
you guys watching the view screen as this Borg just the blue haze just
Hi.
And you hear Shiv go, "It's fighting me. Hold on." And you see this green glow around the Borg as it sort of has like a jamming system to keep it from being beamed where it doesn't want to go. But Shiv goes, "No, you don't, you son of a bitch." And you see vanishes. All right, I got it.
Right.
2,000 kilometers off the port.
Commander?
Do we have coordinates, Talon?
Yes. Well, maybe.
Actually,
Do I
sorry.
need to scan for it?
Actually, it's beneath us.
It's always beneath us.
Do I
You
need
see
to
it come
scan?
up on the view screen. There is a Borg floating helplessly in the vacuum of space.
They don't put rockets on that thing.
Don't have rockets.
Adapt to that. But basically, I kind of just want like a Talon assist kind of flavor
great.
thing.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Also,
I got you.
Talon, even though this thing is floating helplessly in space, it is still uplinked to the communication array.
Okay.
Frack that. Frack
So
fracker.
this is going to be a phaser shot with Sally. All right.
And I assist with aiming, basically.
Okay.
Targeting. Keep
Sensor,
it
yeah.
Shiv goes, "Hold on. Bringing the weapons online." She's all yours, Commander.
All right. So I'm a veteran. I rolled an effect to get my determination back earlier.
Okay. Then I'm going to set the difficulty for the shot is going to be at 3.
Okay.
And go ahead.
Someone has to roll.
There's
weapon
really no
security for
point
the
to
shot.
rolling damage if you hit.
Weapons security for the shot. Chief, you're on that.
Yep.
Okay, we're down one momentum.
Yep.
So that
One momentum for
Commander
cautious.
can get, for cautious. So we're down to 3. Beautiful.
One from you, for me, and I get a reroll. Pull.
Three successes.
3 plus 2 for my auto crit.
And
plus
Sally
one from
gave you 1.
5, 6, how many?
Sensors focus?
Mm-hmm.
7, 8. 8 successes.
Right.
All right, we're gonna want to create advantages from
So
this.
you see the targeting computer just tracking this helpless Borg, which, by the way, has no momentum as it's just beamed out in space. It's literally a sitting duck out there in space. Sally goes. There's nothing on your view screen.
I would love to spend some of the bonus momentum from that momentous roll to create an advantage that it was piggybacking the signal out of its computers and it no longer exists because it was vaporized.
Okay. So here's what you get. 2 things the Sally Ride detects is that once the Borg is vaporized, I should say atomized, because it was disintegrated at the atomic level with that level of power hitting it. Essentially, not only was it disintegrated, but the signal ceases. What you also detect is, even though Martinez missed with that handheld phaser shot, it was enough to attune to that level of energy. And so it is slightly impressive, Talon, because as you're reading the energy output of that phaser blast, for a split second, that Borg's personal shielding system actually protected it for about 0.005 seconds before it was overwhelmed with the firepower of a starship and disintegrated into spectacular atoms, now drifting in the vacuum of space. There is nothing to indicate a Borg ever existed off the port bow, except for the occasional traces of ionic energy. And the communications pulse that's coming out of the tower has ceased. And we have to go to break.
Okay.
I was gonna say
I
there's
need
a
a
couple
snack.
signs that that it existed.
Yeah.
A couple of signs, yes. He left friends with you guys, all of who have been neutralized. So let's go ahead and take a quick 10-minute break. You guys managed to neutralize the Borg threat spectacularly. I would say Roy Scheider Jaws style. I've always wanted to see a starship fire upon a Borg. I'm very pleased right now. Very sad, thoroughly satisfying. So go ahead, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes, folks. Don't go anywhere, and we'll find out what the hell is going on and where this thing came from. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. We're back after a spectacular fireworks show in space. that Borg saw an incredible sunset. Turns out it was actually the phaser array of the Sally Ride. But
I'm sure
man,
he
these-
enjoyed the technological distinctiveness.
I feel like this is a new stat every time a doll falls.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
This is why Rue guards the brig.
Y'all gotta pose y'all's toys better. Come on, guys.
Get on his level. This is
I'm
why
a-
he capped it.
Get on his level.
Poser.
It's coming this way. Yours is next.
No,
Yeah.
All right. Oh my god, I just noticed Mala's little buns.
I know. And my favorite bits of the
The
dangly
bangs doing
bits.
their thing.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, so we're going to start off with a scene cut moments after the destruction of the Borg from the bridge of the USS Ride. You guys have rejoined the Admiral back down in the brig, and things are proceeding forward in the medical facility as well. We'll start with the brig. As you all re-enter the brig area, now I know it's going to be Rune, I know it's going to be Martinez. Who else is going to be there?
y'all are welcome.
Who else
He said,
wants to be there?
Captain, would you like me to be there?
Yes.
Where would you like me?
I would like
Yeah.
you to.
I might
to come
join
with,
for the
because
psychological aspect.
Okay,
of it.
yeah.
because you were there. Okay, great.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I can come with too.
Get some answers. I mean, everybody's
If
pretty
it's-
curious.
if
Rolo Company.
If it's too
Natasha's
much,
there.
Matasi's there. Jiv at this point is actually going to storm into the brig too, looking like, whose head do I need to break?
on the
kinda.
way from the
Get in
bridge
line.
to the brig, I will have filled in the Admiral on what transpired.
Okay.
Okay.
So when you
But I will say, because remember, we were trying to do a little bit of a sneaky mission to try to find some information, and the Admiral may or may not approve of that or want to know about it. The point is that myself as a captain got some intel that there was an illegal sale happening on the station, and I decided to look into it with a team, which, as far as I know, is fine by Starfleet.
yes, and
Protocol?
Hebert is going to head you off before you enter the brig, so that nobody else can hear what's going. But she looks at all of you and just says, "I canceled the alert on the station. That was quite a show you just gave us. Anybody looking out the window would have seen it, but not too many people knew to look out the window at that particular moment."
Be good to keep the station on lockdown, at least insofar as anyone trying to run away.
I've got security teams on it, but I don't want to tip off the Klingons, so I'm going to say it was a false alarm.
Also, just real quick, I changed my mind. I'm going to stay in sick bay.
Okay. So Hebert goes, "I just don't know why that thing was here. I know it wasn't for us, so I want to make sure that I'm not the only one with an ace up their sleeve. So, false alarm,
Okay.
and we're going to move as quickly as we can to find out where this came from and how it happened." You are a Betazoid, isn't that correct, Chief? I want you in there with us when we're talking to this man.
Yes, Admiral.
All right. Cut to Lark Sage, who, by the way, Bonnie told me is in her quarters right now watching romantic comedies to try to figure out how to ask Zadis out on a date.
That's not the resource you want to use, honey.
Oh my god.
What a weird tonal shift.
Yeah.
If I was watching this episode, I'd be like, what?
And when Red
Oh, the
Alert went
Ox
off,
crew, too.
when Red Alert went off,
Yeah. Nothing?
no, when Red Alert went off, she put on her uniform and rushed to the bridge. But by the time she got to the bridge, you guys were exiting the turbo lift. She was like, "Oh,
It's fine. It's fine, Ensign.
okay, everything's okay." Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, if you need me.
All right, I just want to Sam's point, I also hope that romantic comedies in the next couple hundred years have gotten better at showcasing, like...
Healthy relationship.
Healthy relationship. Oh, great.
I mean, I just want to say, the only reason I watch Love Actually is for the Bill Nighy story arc. It's my favorite one. It's this great.
That's
I
why
feel
clips
it
were
in my
invented.
fingers. All right, enough.
There's a lot of reasons to watch that movie. One is named Emma Thompson. One is named Alan Rickman.
When I want to watch Emma Thompson, I immediately turn on Sense and Sensibility. I do
Well,
not turn on
yes.
Love Actually.
I thought you said nude Emma
Anyway.
Thompson. I was like, nude.
Bringing it back into Star Trek.
Named Emma Thompson.
Bringing it back in. So you, so the Admiral walks in with you guys in tow. She stands in front of the force field. This Uridian, he is, his head in his hands rocking back and forth. And then he sees you enter and he goes, "I didn't do this. I didn't know what was in that case. I've delivered some bad stuff. There's no question, but there's no way. I've lost family to the Borg. No, I would never have done... If I had known...
Where did you pick it up?
I picked it up from a pack-led trader. It was a handoff.
Name?
Didn't give me a name.
Coordinates?
I can give you the coordinates.
Ship designation, anything you have.
No ship designation. Pack-led steal most of their vessels.
We'll want to go through your ship's record, see if we can get anything from their sensors.
I'll give you everything I've got. He walks up to the force field. He's like, look, I know I'm in trouble. I'm not going to dispute that. I'm not going to defend myself. But you have to understand, as bad as the things that I do, I would never, ever have let a Borg onto that station if I had known.
Is he telling the truth?
Yes, he's telling the truth, and you're sensing deep self-loathing, anger towards himself. Like a little bit of a thirst for vengeance. You're getting like he feels like he wants
A twinge of anger.
Yes, there's undoubtedly a motivation of fear here. He is definitely scared of what's going to happen to him, but it seems to be somewhat muted by the fact that y'all are Federation.
I told the Admiral how cooperative you were, Gritas. And I also told her that I do believe you, and that you wouldn't knowingly put a station like this in that kind of danger.
Not anyone. Not anyone.
You have been as cooperative as somebody in your position could be so far, and you're going to continue to be cooperative.
I am.
Like the commander said, we're going to get as much information from your ship, from your logs, everything, to try to track this source down.
I'll give you everything. Just so you know, there's a lot of things that I specifically do not keep track of in my logs,
like
in
what?
case I'm stopped. Well, I deal in contraband. So if I have a lot of things listed, then it could be tricky for me in case you catch me. But I'll give you access to everything I've got. There's a few data pads I keep in my quarters too. Those will have information on them as well. Feel free to look through all of them. They're not encrypted.
Good, we will.
I want to keep asking you about the seller that you were supposed to meet. Do you have any information?
All I know is that I was supposed to meet a Klingon. You see Hobart.
You didn't say that.
Well, at the time there was a Klingon with you. I was scared. I didn't know precisely what I was walking into. And then there was a Borg.
Okay. Admiral, it seems you were right in...
Admiral Hobart goes,
Yeah.
okay.
Deciding to call this a false alarm.
This has just gotten very complicated. We absolutely need to find out who is going to pick this thing up. I think it's safe to say whoever it was, they knew what was in that case.
Yeah. We should look through communication logs, see who made outgoing communications. They might have stolen an access code, but it's worth a try.
Closed circuit feeds at the time of the pickup. What was the time supposed to be, Gritas? If there are Klingons in hallways near Cargo Bay 12 that should not be there for any reason, then they're suspect.
That's an excellent idea, Hobart says. We should move fast because whoever it is probably knows what's happened.
They're covering their tracks right
Captain,
now.
I'm putting you and your crew in charge of this investigation. I want you to track down whoever did this and find them. Don't kill them if you can swing that. We're still Starfleet. Take them alive. We're going to have them for questioning and imprisonment, but we need to find out why this was done. Can you do that, Commander?
Admiral?
Whoever's responsible for this is going to face justice. I'm going to make sure of it. Admiral, can I speak with you in my private quarters, please?
Of course.
Gritas, you're going to stay on this ship.
Yes, I understand.
In the brig, as far as I can tell, for the foreseeable future.
I understand.
Just so that you're aware, we're labeling this a false alarm. Nobody on the station knows what transpired.
I will cooperate with them.
And we destroyed the Borg.
You destroyed it?
Yes, atomized it.
That's good news.
All right, we'll be back to talk with you more, but in the meantime, just sit there and keep thinking about what a stupid thing you did.
Yeah. He slumps back against the wall and gets quiet.
I turn to like an ensign or something. I'm like, you can get him some food or water or something if he wants it.
Yes, Captain. I'll see that the replicator's working properly for him.
All right. Commander, I guess gather a team, whoever you need, and keep me posted on
On Talash's status, Admiral.
Okay,
Yes.
real quick,
Come
as
with
you walk out, we're going to cut to what's been going on in Med Bay.
And I'll be heading up toward there, but they have seen first.
Okay, so in Sick Bay, you guys, Tolash is in stable condition now. The nanites have been purged from his system, but Tolash's body has... they still have dead nanites inside of them that they're never going to be reactivated. Very similar to some of the blood work you've seen in Rue. There will be on occasion a nanite that will surface in blood work on Rue, but they're all dead nanites. The internal trauma done during the assimilation process was minimal, thankfully, even though it looks bad because some of the implants are beginning to escape the flesh. Thankfully, it looks like it's actually quite minimal. There's only a few... You guys have spent the past 30 minutes or so being able to conduct non-invasive surgery to actually remove some of the implants that were grafting themselves onto the bone structure of Tolash. There's nothing else you can say for Klingons, is that while they may not be as physically strong as Vulcans, their durability is unsurpassed. And this Klingon was able to withstand the worst of it. So getting some of the implants out, he's going to have some scars, and it's going to be a road to recovery, but he'll make a full recovery.
Has his skin returned to its normal pallor?
It's slowly returning to the same pigment that it was before it changed, yes. It's going to take some time because, again, a lot of stress was done to the nervous system. However, one person who is not returning to the normal pigment is the doctor. As you guys put a blanket over Tolash and sedate him so he sleeps well, you guys are finally moving out of the quarantine. Matazi takes off his helmet and says, I think we can safe to say that the infection has been completely cleared. Doctor, I have an entire hypospray casing filled with active Borg nanites.
I'm, in the meantime, locking myself back up. I would have been reluctant to perform the surgery myself just because I don't understand what's happening to me, sort of trust it, and Borg are involved, but did you talk me into performing the surgery anyway?
You would have to.
You would have to.
Yep.
So narrative will, instead of doing like an extended roll, it really is just going through the motions. It's just removing the implants, and what. Now that there's some downtime,
Regeneration in every area
Yeah.
that we got something out.
Now he just needs rest, more regeneration, fluids, all the bit. Matazi sets the helmet down and goes, Doctor, now that we have some time to breathe, maybe we should start asking questions about you.
I know that I wasn't privy to a lot of information, and we haven't gone too far in our counseling sessions, but what was your relationship like with the life form Jenny that was on the ship?
Oh my gods. Matazi turns to the computer and says, I'm sorry, Doctor, I don't have access to that information. You have it all locked up tight.
Of course. The access code for the records is Mala Jenny 3.
Enters the code. I have access. Bringing it up now. Looks like Talon did some extensive scanning herself.
Can we cross
Quite extensive from the looks of it.
The data that we extracted from Dr. Thrello with the scans? See if there's any sort of match for its regeneration ability?
Let's roll. You want to assist?
Sure. If I can do it from behind this wall that I'm still behind.
Yes, you have full access to the medical walls and
You
everything
mean
else.
from behind the...
You're behind the force
field?
field. Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. Oh, cool. So the difficulty here is going to be 2.
2. And it's going to be insight?
For you, it's going to be...
Is Matazi making the main roll?
Yes, I'm having Matazi make the main roll.
Okay.
So actually it would be Throllo assisting.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so Throllo, for you, it's going to be reason medicine. It's going to be your strong suit.
1 success.
Okay. He brings the information up side by side. And the two of you have the same realization as you see it. And you go, my gods, look at that. And you see the same samples that were taken from the neural gel packs when Ginny was first discovered. When some of her biomatter entered into the air filters when she crumbled, you see large traces of it throughout your system, coursing through your circulatory system. a digger deeping, you also see that a lot of the organic matter from Ginny, as you're looking closer at your own bioscans, you have completely regenerated old scars, and the pigmentation change, you're actually seeing slight adaptations to your own biology that are in keeping with some of Ginny's own biological habits. The cells from Ginny were so rapidly evolving that the defense system literally outpaced the nanites. And so as the nanites were trying to assimilate your cells, the organic matter from Ginny McPlantface actually replicated themselves so quickly that they were literally able to fend off battle and in some cases devour some of the Borg nanites. You're actually tracking, you have more cellular mass right now than you've ever had. A lot of these Borg nanites have been absorbed and turned into organic matter. In essence, Doctor, you have assimilated the Borg.
Not a girl.
Mother Nature.
And you see Matazi, you're looking at a Kishin with his mouth hanging open and goes, the implications. Yeah. Doctor, the medical implications there. You have completely reversed the assimilation process.
I am the most useful or dangerous being in the galaxy, so you could just leave that up.
Doctor! He folds up his tricorder and goes, Doctor, I have a radical proposal. Let us inject some of your hemoglobin into the Klingon. Let's see what happens.
I have to. There are some moral objections that I have, not only cross species, but we don't know if. I'm sorry, Doctor. We don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Right now, he's in stable condition and he's unable to consent himself. I couldn't allow this to go forward.
Surely he would consent if we were saving him from Borg nanites.
We can find out as soon as he wakes up.
I'm sorry, Matazi. That's a great idea. On the other hand...
I just don't think it applies here, but I won't argue if you decide.
It's your call, Doctor.
He's out of danger, Doctor. We don't have to decide right now.
For me, it's a miracle. For him, I don't know. We don't understand what happened or why. I can't put someone else in that same situation without...
Of course. I follow your lead.
Though, following the logs and considering your password, perhaps we should have Mala come in for a scan or two to see if...
I think that would be wise.
Matches.
Yeah.
Gets on. You hear Matazi's voice.
Yeah.
Chief Malarin, could you report to sickbay, please?
What's wrong?
You're not in trouble. It's fine.
Okay.
You hear another voice.
Comforting literally no one.
Council Tristan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just come on up here whenever you get a chance.
At your leisure.
Right now would be perfect, though.
Okay. Commander Brew and Captain Martinez were also present when we initially discovered the life form.
Oh.
And pretty much everyone on the ship has been exposed to a certain extent or other.
Well, let's confirm with Mala first, and then see if we may need to enhance or enact a shipwide procedure.
The implications are that if the spores from Journey's first death, if they spread to the bioneural gel packs, and if they spread to you, and we weren't able to detect them the first time, it's possible we could have multiple...
Also, all the Pataks from Starfleet Intelligence.
Oh, God! Wait, how many people were present for the first death?
Just the three. Was Matazi in sickbay when?
Matazi was in sickbay.
Probably.
Matazi was in sickbay, yeah.
Yeah.
We attempted.
I think it was only the medical staff, to be honest.
Yeah. We all beamed into sick bay.
Yeah.
I
Did
don't
you?
think we split the beam.
I think you're right.
Because I think we saw it.
Yeah.
Our away team, our medical team, and then possibly the visitors to the ship at that time.
I'll compile a list of the staff that we have and send out a call.
I'll talk to Lieutenant Commander Talon. Maybe since she has all this data on the biosignature, perhaps she can run a sweep of the ship to make sure that there's been no further... I don't feel like it's accurate to call it an infection.
Well,
it seems to be a symbiotic relationship.
we're hoping.
Extraordinary.
Upgrade.
Doctor, I should also point out that you are now walking proof of Ginny's existence.
Well,
Or
That might not be a
we've
good
discovered
thing.
a rare Andorian illness, which changes the skin color slightly.
That would work cosmetically, but we should probably discuss, at least in the future, what to do if maybe blood samples are ever taken that aren't by us.
Has this ever shown up in a blood sample before, or was it simply a reaction to the nanites?
nothing is
You've never detected anything like this before. It's possible that the nanites forced your system to react, kind of like becoming a mutant in X-Men. You just had a moment of stress and it just went ah, and whatever particles are inside, whatever organic matter that was inside, that you were touched with by Ginny.
Yeah, the X-Men did meet the crew of the Enterprise, so that is canon. That happened.
It is true. That did happen. That did happen in the
met
comics.
Dr.
Yeah.
Hank McCoy, so that shit happened. That's real.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, real McCoy.
My favorite part was when Colossus punched Data, and Data didn't go down, and Colossus was like, "What?" Yeah. Anyway.
Comic books.
Okay, so Mala.
so yeah,
the door
both of us
door opens, and Mala comes walking in with that expression on her face.
You'll be fine.
You're a lovely shade. Thank you. What's happening?
I'm sure they'll fill you in. I have to get going, but you're great. And I'll walk out.
Thank you. Our little baby left a mark. What baby? What? Apparently Jenny had some kind of residual effect on my biology, and we just want to check that you're okay. The good news is here I am. Whoa. Wait. What? So Jenny's rapidly evolving cells are apparently a part of me now, which is either really, really good news and we have a Borg vaccine, or very bad and dangerous, or some combination. But that's amazing, right? Yeah. Look, I know. Yeah. There's a force field, but I'm here. Oh. Wow. Okay. What do we need?
I just need to run some scans on you using Lieutenant Commander
Do
Scott's
it!
data. Right. Okay. Yes. Let's see here. Pulls out the tricorder. And scan, McScanners.
Yeah. We are very professional in the USS Red.
Scanners.
Are you using the computer? Do you want someone to roll for it?
No, he's just using a straight up tricorder. He's got the readings now, so I'm reducing the difficulty here. So he just kind of scans over, types in a few buttons, and you see Mala's biology come up. Mala, you don't see anything in your biology. You seem very healthy.
Can we rule out the idea that it is a latent effect? Do we know what to look for?
Mala, I think I'm going to need actual blood samples from you.
Go for it.
He extracts blood immediately. Says this might take about half an hour. Just to do as much of a thorough scan as we can, down to the DNA, find out if there's anything latent. I am trying to pretend like I'm not in shock right now. And he moves over to the desk and says, I'll let you know what I find.
Yep.
And begins, you see him put the blood in the spinner and he starts doing scans on it immediately.
Yeah, maybe we just need to stress out my blood. No. Not this one, that one. Oh, right.
All right.
As I'm walking, I'm going to be Paler to Talon.
Talon here.
Please meet me in the research lab at your earliest convenience.
Absolutely.
And I'll head to the research lab.
All right. We're going to cut to Captain Martinez. So you are stepping aside with the Admiral.
Mm-hmm.
You literally just step into the hallway and do a command override on the crew quarters. Opens up. She steps inside. This is one of the lower deck crew quarters. So it's for enlisted or ensigns, and so there's actually 3 beds in here. And you walk inside and close the door and says, "What's on your mind, Captain?"
Admiral, Are you sure you don't know anything about the purchase of this Borg?
I'm not offended by that question, Captain.
I
don't
have
blame
to
you.
ask.
Yeah.
I have to ask.
Nope.
If we can get proof that the General was trying to purchase this, and we can get it to the Empire, then we can oust him.
Who would take his place? Because we can't oust him, then we're interfering with another government.
I know.
You have someone in mind, I take it.
I do, but he is currently trying to recover from being infected by Borg nanites.
Commander Tolash.
Yes.
I'm not surprised. He never liked Kargan very much.
Admiral, he has a blood feud with Kargan.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know.
You're not supposed to know this. You can't let anybody know this. But he is not who he says he is. He's not Tolash.
Really?
Yes.
Who is he?
He's a Klingon named Kolar,
Huh.
who has like I said, a blood feud, specific one, and has been working towards getting close to the General to effectively take him out.
That's interesting.
That is why we got the intel that we did, because we have been, in the past few days, trying to find solutions to this problem.
Well, I appreciate your discretion, Captain. I would have been able to help, but I don't blame you for doing this on your own. I probably would have done the same thing in your situation.
In some ways, I'm not asking you to help, because I know that you can't.
Don't be too sure. The Federation has been trying to sink its roots in pretty deep at Narendra.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. What the
There's a lot of people
presence
that do not like Kargan.
I know.
So you think it's one of Kargan's people. That was my first instinct too, but honestly, Captain, something about this rubs me the wrong way. I want Kargan out of the way, for sure, because I don't...
it might not be Kargan? Might be someone else?
I don't know. I'm just trying to keep my options open. It's just that Kargan... I'm really good at reading people. Kargan is an idiot.
I knew you were going to say that.
He is a fool, Captain. He truly just wants... He is a blunt instrument.
So you don't think he's capable of doing something like this?
I don't think he's capable... I don't think he has the intellectual plane in which to operate in order to set up some kind of covert operation like this. And I certainly don't think... Let me put it this way. I don't think a Klingon would go out of their way to acquire Borg technology or a Borg themselves unless there was a very specific reason for it. And I don't think anybody in the Klingon Empire has the technology to understand what they would be encountering if they got into Borg tech. That's the only thing I can assume why they would have an operational tactical drone. My thought is that a Klingon was coming to pick it up, but I don't think it was meant for the Klingons. There is nothing out there that terrifies Klingons. Nothing, except the Borg. You encounter a Borg, you do not go to Stovall. You become a walking dead man.
I know. And the drone itself was a Klingon.
Yes, and you did its family great service today. Who knows how long it's been like that. It is very distressing. This is the first contact we've had with the Borg since Wolf 359.
Hopefully it'll be the last.
We can hope.
What's the play, Admiral?
I think we need to look past the Klingons, just keep an open eye. Is there anything else you can tell me about Tolash and Kargan, Kolar, I should say, or...
Kolar is a son of Tovek. Wants revenge. And I can tell you this. When we encountered the Klingon vessel, it was the IKS Yakul.
I don't know that ship.
It was affiliated with House Duras. And with that information, Tolash revealed who he was and said that if there was any way to pin that on the General, that it would completely ruin the General's career.
Doros has had contact with Romulans in the past.
Yes. The only problem is, for better and for worse, is that there was absolutely no evidence left of the ship. The Klingon vessel, the Yukul, was vaporized in a gravimetric anomaly. No evidence.
So we need to uncover whether or not the General is in league with the Doros. We should also, just to cover our tracks, make sure the Doros aren't still talking to the Romulans. And we should
Get to the bottom of whoever sent this drone and whoever was intending to buy it. And for what purpose?
keep that Uridian on your ship.
Oh, yeah.
Keep him under guard.
I've got a team that Commander Wu is putting together. We're going to do everything that we can to find the answers to these questions. And on top of that, the Iridian seems like he's willing to play ball. If there's any other information we can get through Betazoid or Vulcan means, maybe a Mind-Meld, I'm going to bring that up. If that's something that he's willing to succumb to, so that we can pull anything, something that he might not have a record of, then I'll try that as well. But that's, at this point, that's all I got. If I come up with anything else, I'll let you know. But
here's two things I want to put on your plate. First of all, be very careful with the Vulcan Mind-Meld idea. Because if the Federation Ethics Office finds out we're using that as a method, we could get in a lot of trouble.
But if it's a willing Mind-Meld...
If it's a willing Mind-Meld, that's different.
And like I said, he seems like he's cooperating at this point, so...
The other thing I want to tell you is we need to get somebody in on his ship as soon as possible, but we need to do it discreetly, so not raise alarm.
Okay.
And assume that whoever is going there to do it...
may encounter some resistance.
They might encounter somebody who also wants to know what that guy knows. So,
Understood.
Send your people.
The buyer covering their tracks. Okay.
And also, Captain, it's late. Get some sleep. I know that all this has happened now, but get some rest.
All right. Thank you, sir.
She stops as she's about to leave, and she turns back and she says, "Really good work today, Martinez. You and your crew. Really good work."
We got lucky.
Maybe, but I don't think so. And she steps out.
Whose room even is this?
You just see an ensign peeking out from the covers going, "Hi, I don't have clearance." Not really, not really.
Ensign Guyvers? What is it? It's
Nothing. Ensign Az. Don't mind me.
you didn't see anything.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
No, not really. No, there's nobody there. It's an empty room.
Yeah.
Not in my head canon.
Yeah, the podcast crew are just like hanging in the corner, just with the mic, going, "This is going to be so interesting on Below Decks." This is going to be so interesting.
Hey, our cricket team is fine.
Yeah. Okay. So after this scene, we had a scene. Who else was set up for our next scene before we move on?
We were going.
Talon and okay, cool. So the research center opens up. Talon, you're already in there, and you see Lieutenant Tristan come walking in. Just a quick reminder, as I was kind of saying in that scene, it is pretty late now, and the stress of today is kind of wearing off. Also, the lights are flickering as clearly the Sally Ride is rebooting. But don't worry, it's Friday, March 16th at 6:13 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's a beautiful night sky.
See, even the clocks are wrong now.
So,
Kill that EMP, mess them up.
right now, my producers are saying, "Would you fucking stop that?" So you walk into the research center and find Talon. Again, the day's exhaustion is really starting to set in. Just the past 3 hours alone have been comparable to a lot of the shit you guys have been through in the past few weeks. So the doors close behind Tristan as he enters. Shh.
Lieutenant Tristan, you wanted to see me?
Talon, I'm so sorry. I know this is my shift and you should be in bed now, but we have sort of a situation happening in Medbay. Everybody's fine. Were you there for the reaction that Dr. Throlo Shishiros had to the nanites?
I believe I was.
Okay.
Not remembering. Yes, I was there.
I believe we uncovered some data about this. Our working theory is that it has something to do with the organism you called Jenny.
Well, that would make sense.
we have some data in the system. We can transfer it over from sickbay. If you're up to it, could we cross-reference it to...
As he's talking, I'm marching towards the station.
The Vulcan is immediately turned that powerful mind of hers towards the computer. So what exactly are you looking up?
You
would
want
you like to
upload the data
to the research center
that you have gathered on her actual blood work.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
cross-reference it with what I have on Jenny.
On Jenny, but then also running a scan to see if there are any of these sort of particles that are either active or in the ship or the crew that are on board.
Oh, great.
At the moment.
Okay. So identify the particles that are in Throlo's blood, and then see if they exist elsewhere on the ship and the crew.
Bioneural gel packs, or
everything.
or any of the crew that's on board now.
So a massive sensor sweep.
Yes, Jody.
It's like 2 steps, but
Okay, so which one are you going to do first?
how about we identify what the particles are?
Okay, so go ahead and make a center sweep of the Sally Ride.
All right.
And I can assist because I'm testing a theory.
I've got a theory.
I've got
a theory.
Okay.
You're not just cute like
Rolling for Jenny.
For
Oh.
Yeah, all right, so go ahead and make your reason science check as you're scanning. Tristan, you can add your medicine score here.
Hey.
And I'll let you use your reason as well. And what did... and the difficult... Okay, cool.
Yeah,
difficulty is this one's going to be 3.
So there's a quick question. Because I'm assisting, it's 1d20.
That's correct.
Testing a theory adds a d20 for engineering or science roll. Can I...
No, because it's her engineering and science
right.
roll.
Yes.
You're an assist. So it's going to be her roll. If it was you making the roll, then you could add the die.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dang it.
no problem.
Okay.
And it was... Sorry, what was the check?
It's for you, it's going to be reason medicine.
Reason medicine. Okay. Yeah.
Wow, what triumph.
Yay! It was just a normal
Yeah.
success.
All right, so
I have 3.
Beep, beep,
3,
boop.
and what Sally get?
1, I think. So.
Okay.
5.
Sweeping
maxed
through the vessel. Talon, the bioneural gel packs of the USS Sally Ride are all interconnected so that they can constantly relay at speeds that far surpass anything the Federation has ever used before. You essentially have non-sentient, working, living brains inside the ship that are able to process far faster than any computer the Starfleet has ever built before. And you are detecting particles all through the lines of Sally Ride. Sally Ride, you don't detect any more life growth, but if you, just from looking at the internal scan of the Sally Ride, looking at all the biosignatures based off of the blood sample data that you're getting from him, Ginny's biomatter is active all throughout the ship, almost like there's a bloodstream inside the Sally Ride.
Has it grown at all? Has it proliferated?
Doesn't seem like it's proliferated or grown.
Okay.
But you are detecting that it is active.
Active. So it's moving. It's
interacting with the
consuming-
bioneural gel packs. It's interacting with the computer systems, but you don't know on what level or how.
I would like to know that with one of my million questions.
Okay, so you're watching Talon actually change facial expressions, which is unusual.
I write that down.
That's all you get. A couple of eyebrows.
Talon, it looks like every time that a system is accessed, either through sensors or life support or anything like that, when the energy is dispersed to a certain system or shunted to another system, or when there's a new, for example, if you're using the deflector dish, when you're going to warp, even the warp drive, you're starting to see that the warp drive itself, the reason why it's been strained so much is some of these particles have actually been interacting with some of the containment fields and the antimatter.
Whoa.
You're detecting reactions within the chamber itself in the warp drive, and a lot of these particles that have come in contact with the antimatter have been destroyed within the chamber.
The Jenny particles.
That's correct.
E particles.
Interestingly enough, what you notice is you're mapping out the coursing effect of these particles that are literally drifting through the bioneural gel packs, as well as some of the systems and I'm talking like plasma systems, like the energy that's flowing through the ship. Somehow these organic particles are surviving as they're passing through all of the computer systems.
Holy crap.
When they reach the warp core, it doesn't look like they can survive in there, and so they've literally, what you're seeing, and it almost denotes intelligence, but what you're seeing is they formed a ring around the systems inside the warp core itself so as to not interact with it. Almost like they learned that they can't go in there.
Good baby. What?
essentially, it looks like, if you didn't know any better, looking at the USS Sally Ride, you would think that on a microcellular and possibly metaphysical level, you're looking at a circulatory system inside the ship.
Great. This was what Talon feared, is that we would not be able to control the growth and spread of Jenny.
You don't see any outward growth. There doesn't seem to be any further, like there's not an evolution, there's not like a sprouting of leaves anywhere or anything like that. You're not seeing that kind of interaction. It's almost like, the best way to describe it is if you got a blood transfusion, even though your blood is now fine, you still have somebody else's blood in you. And it has those genetic markers at work. It's an imprint of Ginny, basically. And from the scope and the scale, this is, unless you gut Sally Ride and tear her apart, this is permanent. It is at every level of the ship.
Can you...
You don't know what the implications of such a thing are. There's no data to support what this could mean. Or if Ginny's even interacting with it anymore. It's impossible to tell.
Can you come with me for a moment?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna rush out of the research center.
So Tristan runs out the door without you.
Come on.
And then I like...
Come on now.
I'm gonna
rushing out. You guys you run down the hall.
Yeah, I'm going down the hall.
the sick bay?
Paylor to Ren.
Oh, yeah.
Can you meet me outside sickbay, please?
Okay.
Thanks.
Ren, you literally pivot and the door opens and Paylor is standing right there.
Hello.
Come here. Oh, we're outside in the hallway. Talon, can you open up one of these panels? And Ren, can you take a gel pack out?
Sure.
Biological gel packs are not going to be located in the wall. Those are literally in the guts of the ship. You're going to have to go down into like the Jeffries
They're-
tube and open up panels.
I seem to remember an episode where you can just pull them out. Whatever. Let's get a gel pack.
Let me put it this way. There's no gel pack on this portion of the deck.
Okay.
There's no gel pack on this portion of the deck, Tristan. They're down in engineering.
Let's go.
They're stationed throughout the ship. There is one. I'll say this. There is one located in sick bay.
Well,
Come
with me.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's grab one.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it is on the other side of the force field that
Oh.
the doctor has
It's in there with you.
activated.
And there's the complication.
I like almost run into
You
the.
thought I was going to make this easy.
Oh right. Oh.
What's going on?
I need to get to that side of the room.
What do you need? There's nothing in here.
I need the gel pack from the wall. I don't know. Tristan said it.
So the removal of a bioneural gel pack, that's a hell of an engineering thing.
Yeah, I want to do it. Let me do it.
It's not like pulling something out of the microwave, unfortunately. You're going to have to get somebody in there to actually slowly remove this huge bioorganic
How
processor.
adaptable is the force field? Can I make myself a little corner?
Yeah, you make yourself a little
I
corner.
make myself a little corner.
Okay. You literally walk over to where Tolosh is and re-erect the force field around the two of you on that side of the medical bay.
With a barrier between, because when I'm not actively I'm just playing it super safe.
Yeah.
I am not allowed unrestricted access to literally anyone.
Okay.
Cautious, would you say?
Yeah.
Cautious.
Okay. But yeah, I'll be watching.
All right, the force fields activate.
Okay. What's going on?
All right, so make an engineering
I'm
check.
testing a theory.
I've got a theory.
I've got a theory.
Okay. Yeah, I know. All right, so this is going to be, I'm going to say this is a control engineering check. Difficulty 2.
Sage, can you get down here?
I can only use cautious once,
And you hear
right?
Sage on the intercom just
Yeah.
going, oh my god,
yeah.
Mr. Darcy
per game.
proposed.
Oh, no, I'm talking about an extra die with.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh yeah. What you should learn is that Mr. Darcy
Gina, I
is
put that
actually
shit on
not an
everything.
ideal
I
partner.
know, I forgot.
Is not what?
An ideal partner.
No.
He does not get a pass because he suddenly
what
realizes
was the
that he's
difficulty?
an asshole.
Although the Keira Knightley version, he's kind of, he's a little more redeemable there.
Okay.
I disagree, but that's fine. Talon
What was the
disagrees.
difficulty?
Difficulty was 2.
I got 1.
Talon, can you assist?
Sure. Can I? It's
No.
too late. Oh, it's too late.
The roll's been made. You get in there and you pull open the panel and you see the bioneural gel pack. Mala, as you're starting to disconnect the gel pack, you stop and you're remembering the last time you removed one of these.
Yeah.
How you almost dropped the damn thing. And as you're starting to pull it out, you stop and realize that a lot of the connections across these bioneural gel packs, typically you want at least one other engineer here helping you with one of
Yeah.
these things. This is the most complex system on the ship, and you kind of Slide it back in. Close it. Jiv could probably help you
Yeah.
with this.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Jiv,
Yeah.
can you come to sickbay?
Why?
Some stuff is happening.
When does stuff never happen on this ship? I need a night's sleep. What's happening?
I need your help with a neural gel pack.
Why?
It's plant related.
Plant related.
Yep. Don't you sigh at me. Get up here.
I'm on my way.
You're the best.
About 10 minutes pass before a very grumpy Tellarite stomps into the room and goes,
Took you a long time to get up here.
yeah, it would have taken longer. Hi.
She's green.
I'm off duty. What is plant-based? What are we talking about?
Well, we need a bioneural gel pack, one that's connected to the system.
You want me to help you remove it?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Is that all you need?
For now.
Okay. I'm holding you to that. Help you remove this thing. Molly, you want to assist me with this?
I do.
Yeah.
We also have lots of momentum.
Tons.
Jiv is good at his job. Let's see. And with
Mama
Mala helping him,
sometimes
he's even
is.
better.
She has untapped potential.
She's
Yeah.
untapped potential.
Let's make this a... Okay, 9. So... Okay. Difficulties 2. Go ahead and make the same roll you made last time.
I did.
Okay. Let's see what Jiv did. Jiv fucking rocked that.
Yay!
2 successes from Jiv. No, 3 successes from Jiv.
1 success from Mala.
Okay. So Jiv expertly,
Lots of momentum.
and you helping the other side, he goes, just take it like that.
Okay.
Yep. And you see the computer system power down. And it says stand by, come up on the wall. And he sets it down and he goes, what do you want to do with it?
Thank you. You can go back to bed if you want.
Good night. He pivots and starts to walk out.
Matazi, we'll only to cross-reference his
I-
genetic skills
I-
against what we've learned. Have a good one.
Yes, Matazi, could you please prepare the nanites that we extracted from Dr. Shishiro's?
The Borg Knights?
Yes.
What?
What are you doing?
What?
If we set up a force field, we can test the reactions of the plant molecules that were found inside the gel packs. If there's a reaction, then we know it was directly related to the nanites.
We should extract the particles from the bioneural gel pack then. Injecting Borg nanites into a bioneural gel pack, I don't know what that would do.
As long
you
as it's
might
not-
create an intelligence.
As long as it's not connected to anything.
Powered intelligence that
Or-
is familiar with our ship systems.
Or the same thing would happen with what happened with Dr. Shishiro's.
I don't.
Why don't we, I don't feel comfortable injecting Borg into the ship.
It's not in the ship. It's just in this one
This is part of my ship.
pack.
Why don't we see
Why
if
don't
we
we
can
put
extract?
it in my blood?
What?
Not,
Oh.
not this one, that one!
We can't inject the fluid of the bioneural gel pack into your blood.
No, inject the Borg into the vial of my blood.
And see if
See if it reacts that way. Then we know if it's in me at least.
We need the clean scans of the blood that was taken. We need something to cross-reference.
Well, we
We'll
could
take more blood.
We could take one more sample of blood from you and one more sample of blood from the doctor, and then watch them both react.
Can we take from the gel pack?
Why wasn't Tolash affected? He's been on the ship for ages.
Perhaps he didn't have the exposure to Jenny, or perhaps it was only the one encounter of the first death. There were particles that were found of Jenny in the bioneural gel packs on the ship.
Really?
everywhere in the ship is affected. It is as
What?
if Jenny particles, I'm calling them now Gen-E particles, for your
Okay.
reference.
That's good. I like that.
It is as if they are part of our system.
But we need to know how they'll react, or if they react.
She never left.
Right. We need to know their potential effect. If you've got enough for samples, we need to know if they had anything to do with recent changes to Shiv.
I'll fill you in to the extent that's medically necessary. We need a clean sample from me. We need to keep an eye on Tolash.
Are you okay? Okay.
No, Matazi says. The doctor is overstressed, overworked, your biosamples.
I'm fine.
Doctor, you're undergoing an extreme amount of stress. You require rest.
I require answers.
Yes. But before one comes the other.
Perhaps a rest would clear your mind and be able to come to the conclusions. I'm sorry, I got excited and barged in here, but these can all wait.
I can also do some blood extractions on Tolash as well, and then we can test everything.
I think
We're not doing this right now.
And I think it would be wise to set up a quarantine section of the research lab to do these experiments. We should not do them in the middle of the med bay.
I suppose there are procedures.
Speaking
There
of
are
which,
always
Doctor, I have not
procedures.
detected anything threatening from your biosigns. I don't know that the force fields are any longer necessary.
This is my first time being assimilated. I don't know the rules.
How do you feel?
I have so little to go on. I feel fine, and that's almost worse. I'll stay for now. Move me over there. We'll set the field up around one of the beds, and I'll lie down if you insist. But we there's so much we need to know.
All right. What's Rue and Martinez up to while all this is happening?
I've been off on my lonesome for a while. I was gonna have gone to sickbay, but
So-
since clearly that didn't happen.
Well, we could say it at this point if you want. The door's open and
I
Rue
think
enters.
that, and then we'll just like
When
in
you-
the interim, when I was walking from having been dismissed to now, I will have been going over the movements on the station of
Okay,
the
security?
quartermaster.
Okay. Of the quartermaster.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead. So you're going to access station.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real
so go ahead.
freaking thoroughly.
By the way, someone who could assist you with this.
Oh, no.
You know?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
This is about to happen.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess I will have been in my office doing that.
Okay. So describe to me what's going on before we make any rolls.
All right, I'll go into the computer in my office, and I hope you're happy.
Why would I be happy? Dryden steps in up next to you. This guy.
Tried your idea. Look how that turned out. The crutches
Ooh.
weren't terrible.
Janelle, it's important that I tell you this so that the next host knows. I am not telepathic, and I don't have ESP. I don't know what's in that box.
No, you just have terrible ideas.
It
And
was
I
the surest
was
path
an
to
idiot for
knowing.
following them. I can't believe you've been a part of me for 20 years. I didn't want to join Starfleet before I was joined to Rue.
Don't look at me. I didn't have anything to do with that. I didn't want anything to do with Starfleet. As far as I can tell, somebody who had a Starfleet insignia on their left breast is who shot and killed me. This is not going to be the last time I give you advice you're not going to like, or it's not going to end up well.
No, but I think it might be the last time I take it for a little while.
You won't have much of a choice, Janelle.
Why's that?
I saw what you saw when we spoke to that other Trill. I looked back at you and you looked at me.
I know.
You need to bury me.
I confess, the option is looking a lot more attractive today. I don't want to deal with this. I want to find the Borg. I'm trying to go through security footage. Will you at least help with that?
I can do better. There's a lot of pieces that have been laid out in front of you that you've been ignoring because you're a security officer and a commander and you don't think like I did. But you can. Do you really want to think like a Section 31 operative? I can show you how to lay these pieces out and find where this conspiracy is going. This was my life. This is what I was good at. And if you want access to it...
Look where it got you.
I died because I decided to become more like you.
Yeah. Your ideas have screwed us over today. Fine, talk.
You're thinking too localized, Rue. Think deeper. There have been pieces that have been laid out in your memory for a while now. Hints. Breadcrumbs. Think of every instance you've heard about some strange interaction with the Klingon. Or any instance you've heard from maybe a crewmate or perhaps someone you've met.
Yeah, that's not specific.
Think hard. Hasn't somebody close to you said something to you once? Because if you've heard it, I've heard it. Someone you know has talked about Klingons in the past. Might know something. Something that got him demoted. Don't you see this is all linking up? How do you get a Borg on a station like this? And why did it come to Narendra?
If it were...
And don't you know something about Klingons possibly having something to do with the Federation in the back channel? Think of everything the Lassie ever told you. Think of the Klingon attack on that station. 31 sent the Klingons to take that station. And now a Borg shows up on Narendra. For a buyer. You've heard the name Duras.
Yes.
We know the Romulans are out there.
Yes.
Start piecing it together. And start with your Tellarite.
Do you just keep a corkboard with strings in the back of my head?
It's not just your head, so long as I'm here. It's mine too.
So you'll keep stringing me along. All right, I'll talk to the Tellarite. He's not going to like that. So there's that at least.
You could use a stress relief at this time anyway. It's been a rough day. There's nothing more entertaining than irritating a Tellarite.
Shut up.
You gonna go visit Jiv?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll go to Jiv, then I'll go to the party.
No answer. You, of course, ring again.
Computer, locate Jiv.
Lieutenant Commander Jiv is in his quarters.
Open up.
You gotta be kidding me. A few seconds pass, and then
Lieutenant Commander?
The doors open, and you see Jiv, he's just wearing his PJ bottoms.
Oh, I was
Bare
hoping for
feet,
nighty.
bare feet, answers the door, kind of has that, Uncle Iroh body from Avatar, you know what I mean? Where he's kind of bulky, but he's a big guy too, and he just looks up at you,
Wait,
and
what
he
season?
pulls...
Because he got ripped. He got ripped.
Yeah, he did.
He's not, yeah, I know, he's not final season Iroh.
Season 1? Okay.
He's working towards final season Iroh.
Sure.
Okay.
He's
This
not.
isn't even his final
He hasn't started doing the push-ups in the prison cell yet.
Yeah.
But he pulls his hair back out of his eyes and tugs on his beard and looks up at you and goes, "All right, what did I do?"
I'm figuring out the son of a bitch who sent a Borg to our station. Do you want to help?
Yeah, I do.
May I come in? Talk?
Yeah, come on in. Do you want something to? Do you want a cream soda?
How does she drink those things?
I don't know. But she's so easy to make happy. I just drink them in front of her. And keeps her off my back, you know.
She's a mess. She's our mess. She's a good kid.
He sits down and says, yeah, she's got a big heart, that's for sure.
Yeah. I've been having an intuition I'm running down.
All right.
You came on to our ship. You and I never really got a chance for a sit-down interview or anything. We don't talk. I don't think either of us felt compelled, but at the risk of bringing up old wounds, I never heard the story of the demotion.
There's a change in his face, and he says, it's because I don't tell it.
I grab him a cream soda, I put it in front of him.
You want me to tell it now? Did you notice it was blocked out from my record?
I didn't go hunting.
I appreciate that. You're not going to believe this, but you're actually one of the nicer commanders I've ever served under.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't mean to insult you or anything.
We'll try not to take it too personally.
Let's just put it this way. I served on board Tellarite ships before I joined the Fed.
What was that like?
It was good. I mean, getting called an asshole every time you walk in engineering has a certain comfort to it when you're a Tellarite.
Have you told Mala? I'm sure she'd oblige.
She would do it a couple of times, and then she'd start feeling really bad about it. And then she'd start apologizing in her own way, and I would have to deal with that. It'd be weeks and weeks of Mala being nice to me.
Oh no, she'd get pissed off at you way before that.
Maybe.
You two work well together, but what made you join Starfleet then?
Why'd I join?
Tellarite's ship.
Tellarites are really good at what we do, but no one was innovating. And I heard that they need people working at the shipyards. Went to Starfleet Academy, learned more about warp field dynamics, metallurgy, starship design. Went the full route, graduated with honors. Started working at Utopia Planitia, started designing some of the earlier concepts behind the Intrepid-class warp drive. I got to be there when the USS Intrepid launched. It was a hell of a day. And then I actually was there when they were drawing up the blueprints to this pretty girl. And he pats the sofa. He's like, I never thought I was going to serve on board the Sally Ride.
She's a fine science vessel.
Yeah. After Voyager was built for exploration, they decided the next Intrepid class should be built purely as a scientific research platform. Which I agree with. I think that's what she was designed to be. Although exploration is not bad, but... Why are you asking me all this?
Sometimes I'm paranoid. Sometimes I'm right.
This is the longest conversation you and I have ever had since I started serving on board this vessel. And so I'm either terrified or I'm touched. I don't know which. What's going on, Commander?
Admire the 2-for-1 deal.
All right, yeah.
But seriously, what happened with the warp core?
It worked brilliantly. Warp core did well. I got to add in a few of my calculations, some of my theories. Turns out we were able to increase efficiency. We were able to push back the 9.9 barrier a little bit. The goal one day would be to have transwarp drive, but that's quite a ways off. And to be honest with you, folding space like that, I know it sounds sexy, but there's just something about flying amongst the stars, looking out your window and seeing them fly past. I would miss that.
Romantic.
Yeah, maybe. Although from what I understand, the Borg get to see it all the time. Not that they can appreciate it. I don't think cubes have windows, do they?
Wouldn't know.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I caught wind that there was weapons smuggling taking place at a high level. And then I saw it happening. And I spoke up about it. And I didn't have the evidence. And he used all of his powers in the Admiralty to bury me. And if it wasn't for some very nice people who appreciated the work I did on these starships, I would have been kicked out of Starfleet and probably imprisoned. He tried to implicate me.
Who?
I don't really want to open this wound again.
I wouldn't ask. You know I wouldn't.
You can't touch him. He's a rear admiral in Starfleet.
Better to know, isn't it?
His name's Yonet Mallevis.
Not the name we were thinking.
Well, that name's a little too prophetic, isn't it?
Maybe, yeah. He's an Efrosian. I don't know what he's up to these days. I try to keep off his radar. But I know he's still in Starfleet. Probably still operating out of Starbase 1.
All sorts of folks seem to keep their jobs as don't deserve it, but who was smuggling? What were they smuggling?
I don't know for sure, but if I had to guess, I would say that they're antimatter warheads from our own photon torpedoes.
To whom?
Someone in the Klingon Empire. I couldn't get a good look at the Klingon. And when I tried to access the records so I could bring up video evidence, guess what I found?
Big old pile of static?
That would be correct.
Would you know where those records would have been, the pile of static? In case someone with a knack for it try to sift through it a bit.
Well, they weren't scrambled, Commander. They were just gone.
Where else could they be? Anything.
You got me. Anyway, I tried to do the right thing. I spoke up about it. I was made an example of in court. I was shamed. I was reduced in rank. And I was sent to work on some backwater station that wasn't even online yet. With a bunch of people who weren't qualified to be working there yet.
Then they were better for having you, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. They were very lucky to have me.
So are we.
I'd agree with that.
I'm glad
He
you have
smirks.
correct opinions.
I'd still be there now if the Sally Ride hadn't put in. And if Martinez hadn't been nice enough to take me on board. Of course, that was all because your original chief engineer
Yeah.
went through his ordeal.
A lot of trauma on this ship.
Funny how the universe lines up. It's late. Is there anything else I can do for you, Commander?
Not for now.
Why are you asking about him? Why now? Why are you inquiring? And what does this have to do with the Borg?
Someone is smuggling weapons around the Klingon Empire, and I think they're using the ones on this station as patsies.
He stands up. Someone's smuggling. You think...
That Borg was supposed to be smuggled weapons.
You think the Klingons are involved? You think it's connected to what I went through?
The shipment was intended for a Klingon buyer who may or may not have been a middleman or a false flag, and I still have to sort through all that.
Do you have a lead?
One.
What is it? Who is it?
Quartermaster on the station.
Do we have a data file on him?
I'm working on it.
Do you have any evidence, anything to go on?
If I did, I wouldn't be in here right now, I'd be with him. I tighten my grip on my crutches a little bit.
Do you have video footage? Do you have...
About to start hunting. If you want to help.
I'm gonna go put my shirt on. He turns... He comes back a few moments later in full uniform.
Sexy shit.
Yeah.
He comes back a few moments in full uniform and just says, "All right, first place we should start let me get a look at the quartermaster, just in case. And then let's look up video footage.
All right. Pull him up.
You guys go over to Jiv's workstation. You see the Klingon symbol come up on the computer screen and goes, the Admiral's going to need to give us access.
Can I see it real quick?
Okay. He leans back and says, it's all yours.
I think to myself,
What a...
make yourself useful.
Janelle suddenly turns and looks at Jiv and goes, step aside.
I forgot to roll my veteran.
Janelle, you find yourself standing on the other side of the room, and you see Dryden sitting in the chair right next to Jiv. And Jiv is looking at Dryden kind of curiously and says, hey, you've got all the room here, Commander. Says, Tellarites.
Whoa.
None of you are subtle.
What the?
Are you enjoying the ride? He turns and looks at you.
What are you doing?
My job. Oops.
So,
Okay. So you're watching as you approach. Jib does not see you as you approach. And you see Dryden's fingers playing across the LCARs, and you watch as these lines of code begin to appear. And you see him jump firewall after firewall after firewall. And then you see him create a complete false identification right there in the spot. And then he brings up the Klingon database, all in Klingon. And he goes, the translator's not I can't read Klingon. And Dryden goes, I can. Why don't you use the translator? Because then they'll see someone's using the translator. Do you mind? And Shiv looks at Dryden kind of shocked and says, no. Do your thing. And he brings it up, keeps typing, and says, Quartermaster. There's been 3. Curious, the last 2 have been killed. Mysteriously, from the looks of it. There. Brings it up. You see an image appear on the screen. Chukai, son of Aram.
the engineer.
No, it's not the engineer. You've
Okay,
actually never heard of this Klingon before.
I've heard the name Chukai. Either from Brug or the guy who was in engineering.
Yes.
I couldn't remember.
Chukai is the name of the quartermaster.
Okay.
So as he brings it up on the screen, and Jiv leans in close and goes, I can't be sure, but I bet my beard that's the son of a bitch I caught doing deals. Dryden leans back in the chair and says, I know this Klingon.
What?
I know him. He is Chukai, son of Aram of House Duras. We've had dealings with him in the past.
What dealings? Talk.
Duras.
Before I was killed, I was tracking weapon shipments across the border through the Orion Crime Syndicate. They were facilitating connections with the Federation and the House of Duras. But I didn't get that information before I ended up leaving Section 31 after I was authorized to kill certain high-ranking Starfleet officials that might be onto the trail. And that's when I pulled the plug, decided I didn't want to do this work anymore.
Who were those officials, Dryden?
I honestly don't remember them. No offense, Janelle, but when you got assimilated, some things got lost.
You don't have to tell me.
And a beat, and Jiv goes, who the hell are you talking to right now? No. Mm-mm. Dryden's staring at you. Says, I don't know if you have what it takes to do what needs to be done here.
Then allow me the pleasure of proving you wrong, Dryden Rue.
Chukai? What are you gonna do? He did try to kill your mate, didn't he? With the Borg? And if he's House Doros, he's probably got a lot of information that we need. Probably not going to talk unless he's persuaded. I know how to persuade him. Want to let me do my work? You'll need to take that off. And he points at your insignia badge.
You know, I spent a lot of time in rehab hospitals after Wolf 359. There's a thing that they say in medical training that I heard. See one, do one, teach one. My turn.
I should help you as
I thought it, Shiv.
You and Dryden walk out side by side, and that's where we have to stop today's game.
Wow.
Wow.
Guess you're not coming to sick, baby. You put that thing back on.
So help me.
Put that thing back. Wow.
Force field of emotions.
Either like
If he'd let me go to sick bay, that would seem to turn out different. Who knows?
we're either the best.
Let's find
crew
out when we talk more about it on
in
Behind the Shield.
all of Star Trek, or the worst crew in all of Star Trek. I haven't
Yes!
figured it out yet.
The answer is yes.
I have to just say, one of my favorite episodes of DS9 is when Jadzia decides to honor the commitments of her previous host, Curzon, and decides to go with the Klingons. It's one of my favorite episodes where they
great.
brought back the original episode, the original actors
Those
of
actors
Klingons.
from the 60s, man.
And she had to fulfill a blood oath of vengeance, which went right against everything that Starfleet stood for. And everyone told her, "Don't you fucking do this." And she
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah, we did.
And the looks she got when she returned, it was
Yeah,
so...
she did.
That's one of my all-time favorite episodes of modern Trek. I love that episode so much.
It's great, isn't it?
Yes.
I love it so much.
All the original actors coming back to play Kor and Kang, and I love it. Guys, that's our episode for tonight. Man, we tried to squeeze in as much as possible.
Yay,
Xander, thank you for coming in. Covering for Bonnie.
Yay.
Now, here's the tricky part.
And Mike.
Bonnie is going to be out
my
next
God.
week as well.
Right.
Are you going to be gone too? Because of
Because of WonderCon.
because of WonderCon.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to get another guest
you
in
can be a
here.
gay on the panel.
Yeah.
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 So have you on your panel.
Yeah, but then also I'm on a new show on Alpha, We're Alive Frontier, and the 4th episode's
good.
coming out. Yay, thanks!
It's been doing gangbusters. People are blowing up Alpha watching that show. It's
Yay.
amazing.
Yes.
And funny enough, this last episode ended on a cliffhanger, and the whole Discord said, they pulled a Campbell!
We're notorious.
Yeah.
God. Anyway, all right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. We will see you next Friday for another episode of Behind the Shield to find out what the hell is going on. Until then, stay tuned for Shield Behind the Shield, and we're also going to announce. Devin, do we want to announce the winners now because we're about to run out of time? Still curating them. So we're going to announce the winners to the contest online, so stay tuned for that. And then catch us on Behind the Shield on Alpha at 7:30. And until then, hailing frequencies closed.